Harris there from Chris, so we allowed him to stay home tonight, and we appreciate having my broadcast partner for the Albion Brits ball games up here with me tonight. Jim, ball game, last ball game of the football season. LC and Bryan, obviously NWAL championship is out of the question for our guys, but for LC, they're playing for everything tonight because they are the number 3 team in their region in the state playoffs, and they could use a win tonight and then hopefully some other things happening to possibly bump them up into the number 2 spot and allow them to host the first round of the playoffs next week.
It's definitely a meaningful game for the LC Tigers, and if you look at last year, they ended the season 5-2 in the league, 6-4 overall, and they finished 3rd that year. They sit at 4-2 right now, so victory would push them to 5-2 in the league again. But will push them to 8-2 overall in the season. Like you said, it would boost their playoff hopes. Kind of hanging on by a thread, but definitely with an opportunity here tonight, but they need to make a statement.
Well, they're basically in. It's not a matter of whether they're going to get in or not, but the key to them tonight is whether they get to host next week. Is what what their key is, and that really depends on a win tonight. If they don't win tonight, for sure, they're not going to be in. As far as the hosting team, they'll be on the road, and you know how that is, Jim. You'd always much rather play that week number 1 game back at your place, especially with Liberty's field and Liberty's atmosphere. You know, that little place is a tough place to win a football game in.
It's absolutely a tough place to win, and the home crowd for a postseason game would definitely be fired up. But to your point also about the perils of hitting the road in the first round of a playoff, as an underseeded team, you could be going to Columbus.
Sure.
You could be making a pretty far trip, and it's always a lot more challenging to bring that home crowd atmosphere to, you know, a 3.5 hour trip away from your house. So, you know, it's definitely in their best interest to get a victory tonight. But the Bears obviously looking to play spoiler and looking to hold home field one last time to end the season on an up note.
Bears come in tonight really with only their pride to play for it. I think Coach Redhead is going to have them doing exactly that. I think they're going to be fired up and ready to go. This is a Liberty team that I think they believe that they can beat. Although it's going to be a challenge. You know, Liberty only has lost a couple times this year, and they've lost to teams that are the top 2 teams basically in the conference with them, and that is Swanton and Patrick Henry. Patrick Henry basically took care of business with them, and Swanton was down. They actually had Swanton down going into that football game and going late in that football game, and then Swanton came back and was able to take care of Liberty late in that game. In fact, if you could look back. Liberty got beat last week 28-15 by Swanton, but Liberty was up in that game 15-0 at one point in time, and then Swanton came back, scored 28 unanswered, and took the win. As you go back through the season this year for Liberty Center, the week before they defeated Archibald 45-14. The week before that they defeated Wauseon 28-6. And then you go back to the week before that, it was 14-0 over Delta, which is a little bit of a surprise because we didn't think that the Delta Panthers were as strong of a football team as what obviously they ended up being. And it was an interesting ball game to see that these guys only beat Delta by 2 touchdowns. The week before that was the loss to Patrick Henry, 22-14. So really no big blowouts here for Liberty this year in their 2 losses. And obviously Patrick Henry and Swanton, both teams heading to the playoff, and both teams pretty solid this year.
Yeah, and the things that the top 3 teams, including LC, in the NWOAL have in common is suffocating defenses. Patrick Henry, actually, of the 3, has given up the most points, 79 in conference. Swanton has given up 71 coming into tonight, and LC has given up 70. So all 3 teams under 80 points allowed in the conference season so far. Every other team in the conference over 100 points given up throughout conference. So suffocating defense is a big part of that.
And, you know, they bring back, really, they had 8 starters coming back on that defense this year, which is a situation that every coach likes to have. But for Coach Rex Lindgren, they really, really love to have the defense because that's been his keynote for all the years he's been there. And obviously, we'll talk about it, but this is his last football game as far as the last regular season football game, as he's going to retire at the end of his career. Well, we had an opportunity to talk to the coach the other day in the Bryan Ford Lincoln Extra Point. Every week we get a chance to talk to Coach Redhead, and right now let's find out what he thought of last week's ball game and let him look ahead to this week.
You know, gathering with those we love, we get to catch up and we get to reflect on the past. It seems like every time we get together, I always learn something new.
Here's the front page of the Columbus Dispatch when he won state baseball tournament, sliding into home plate.
Look at that, the front page. And that's a neat picture.
That was a great memory. I'll never forget that.
At Oberlin Turnbull Funeral Home, we understand that there are special memories that need to be remembered and shared.
Things are starting to settle down here at Bryan Ford Lincoln. After the fire, we had to rearrange everything. We brought in new offices for our staff. We reorganized our inventory to accommodate our new layout. Things are starting to feel a little more like home.
Morning, Jeff.
Maybe a little too comfortable. Bryan Ford Lincoln, great deals, great people, great experiences.
They say there is strength in numbers. In Bryan, we have always taken pride in supporting our Golden Bear student athletes in all of their sporting endeavors. The Bryan Athletic Boosters now have a chance for you to get into the game. If you're Bryan proud, it's time to become Bryan strong. Whether you were a BHS athlete, are raising a BHS athlete, or just love supporting our Bryan High School athlete, this is your chance to be part of the BHS sporting community. Talk to any board member today on how easy it is to join, or contact us at 419-636-4536.
This is my story. I'm a mother of 3, a wife, and a cat operator. I earned my degree in mechanical engineering technologies. Now I have a career doing exactly what I studied. I learned more, now I earn more.
Let's go, Bears!
Extra Point with Jim Thunderbird and head coach Grant Redhead.
Welcome into the Extra Point. I'm Jim Thunderbird, brought to you by Bryan Ford Lincoln Mercury, along with Coach Redhead. And Coach, hey, congratulations. The other night, that was a big win over Delta, I thought.
It was a good win. You know, we came out and threw something at them that we've had in our package all year long, but
Andrews O'Neill & Lowe is committed to providing you the best value for your insurance dollar. We are an agency built on integrity, offering personal service and sound advice you can trust. That's why we partner with experienced carriers like the Central Mutual Insurance Company for your auto, home, or business insurance needs. Central's quality insurance products are reasonably priced and backed by prompt, professional service, providing value for your peace of mind. Andrews O'Neill & Lowe is your local Central agent. Call us today at 419-636-5050.
Extra.
Right? And it came down to those big plays again. I mean, it just seems like you can't get away from those 57, 73, 62-yarders, you know?
yeah, you know, with that back, he's the best back in our league. He's the best back we faced all year, and he's special. You know, you got to limit those guys. We limited Beverly against Delta. You know, we didn't limit him. You know, that, and then we had another blown coverage, you know, the fourth for the year where it went for a touchdown when he came up on run support and the guy ran right by him. You know, we can't give good people easy touchdowns like that. For the most part, I thought we battled, you know, and the kids played tough, and we moved the ball. You know, we answered after the first one on offense, came right back down, scored. You know, it's just, like I said, you can't give people gifts.
No, you really can't. How good is the Johnson kid? You've seen quite a few running backs in your day.
Yeah.
Give me an impression of him.
Yeah, he's a kid that with some of the talent I saw down south and the skill talent, you know, he could play for anybody down there. He's that good. You know, if he had a couple more inches, he'd be looking to play on Saturdays in the big time. You know, I don't know what his recruiting status is or anything, but he's got the speed, he's got the ability, and you know, he's physical, and that helps. Yeah. So. You know, like I said, he may surprise us and go somewhere in the MAC.
Got to believe that Coach Inselman, when he thought about coming back, had to look at that roster a little bit and say, man, 17 seniors, pretty good quarterback, couple good studs on the defensive side of the ball, real good running back. Oh, sure, let's come back this year.
Well, you know, yeah, talent makes your life easy. I mean, it really does. The biggest thing is, you know, I think he'd be successful, you know, maybe not to the extent they are this year, but, you know, he just does the right things fundamentally. You know, he keeps a sustainable program. You know, that's what we're working to get to. Yeah. You know, get the kids developed enough to where we're sustainable, to where we can be decent year in, year out.
On our side of the ball, I thought Bryson Andrews really stepped up Friday night. That was his coming out
party.
party.
Had a great game, and you know, he's been pushing. That's why we started him against Delta, because the kid's been really doing a good job at receiver, and you know, we just needed time to develop a third. You know, we had two to start, then we finally developed the third, and you know, with losing Peters, that would give us 4 good ones. But you know, we've still got him coming back. Drew will be back. Bryson will be back. Logan Clemens is starting as safety, is a phenomenal receiver too. We just don't want to overdo him. He's a freshman, so you know, we'll be okay.
Yeah, you know, we talked a lot about that, but your young guys really got an awful lot of great time on Friday nights this year.
Yeah, and they're playing well.
Yeah,
you know, they're not just in there because we have nobody else. They're playing well. They've won the spots. Okay, and that's huge. You know, they've consistently gotten better each week, and I think our team's consistently gotten better. You know, we're playing better competition every week as it goes on, but the kids play. You know, and they play for 48 minutes, and that's, you know, you got to stay in it to win it, and that's what we're getting them to go. And you know, the senior group has really matured and done some good things, and kind of led this class in the right direction.
Yeah. Well, it's been a tough year, I know, but it's been a much better year than it was last year. You can really see the improvement. Looking forward to next year already.
Yeah. You know, there's a process, and you know, there's teams that we have to pound the ball at because that's what we can do, and there's times that we can spread it out. And when we get people developed and in the right position, now we can see what we can do. We can jump back and forth between our sets and do what suits us best. You know, last 2 weeks of the season, they're physical people. We don't really want to line up in the eye and just pound, pound, pound. You know, we had to do it against Swanton because we weren't ready at the receivers. We couldn't get in a spread formation. You know, we were down a couple guys, and when we had a few key injuries that night, we had to stay in it. You know, there was nothing we could do. So, you know, now we've got more options. You know, even though we've got a few guys still dinged up, we've got more options because the kids have developed throughout the year and they're ready to play.
Yeah. You know, even late in the game when you picked off that onside kick, there was we sat up there in the booth and said, boy, this is kind of like the Bryan old right now. We get this onside kick, we go down and score. It's a ball game again all of a sudden, you know?
You know, that's the thing. The kids keep believing in. I just told them, I said, you know, you got to believe that you can do it, and then you got to go out and play your best to get it done, you know, and play like you want to win that game. You know, I asked them today, I said, you know, do we play, you know, hard enough in Archibald to win? No. In executing things? No. Waseon? No. I said, but did we look at where we're at and look at what we've done. We played hard sometimes. We got to be consistent with that all the time.
Yeah. Well, 9 of them are in the book. Week number 10's coming. We'll be back to talk about the LC game right after this timeout. Welcome back into the Extra Point. Coach, LC, I mean, when you looked at the schedule, you said, doggone it, we got PH and LC the last 2 weeks of the season. Last one, week 10.
Well, you know, last year we've got a little redemption. We got to do better. You know, last year we went over. Yeah, it was a hard season, a long season, but you know, I wasn't happy. There was a few plays that, you know, were almost embarrassing where we laid down. You know, we stepped out of the way of tackles instead of making a tackle on that big back. I wasn't happy with it, and the boys weren't. I know that, but. You know, I brought that game up and I said, boys, this wasn't us and this isn't the way we play. And, you know, we've been using it as motivation. You know, win, lose, or draw. If you leave it all on the field and you play hard, you can handle that. You know, I thought we played hard last week. I don't like losing, but it was more, I could handle it a little better. You know, we need to come and play this week, and that's the biggest thing. You know, I think if we execute, we do some things right, you know, we get our pass game going early, that'll open up the run. You know, we're right now our pass game's hot, so let's go with it. Let's keep flipping the ball around, open them up, spread them out, get the run going. You know, and then when we have to, you know, we've got a few wrinkles that we can jump into, and you know, hopefully catch them on their heels.
Yeah, that sounds like fun. LC brings Zach Carpenter in. He's a little bit bigger back, a little tougher back. He's not quite as quick as the Johnson kid, but boy, he's every bit as effective. Yeah, you know, he runs a lot like, you know, I compared him to Beverly, to the boys, I said, because he's shifty. You know, he gets in there, he finds his blocker, he stays behind his blocker, and he's all over, you know, to where Johnson's hitting it and he's gone. He drops a gear and goes. You know, so they gotta be ready for that. But,
I think we can, if we can limit him and not give up the big play. And on play action, not have, there was one play last year, 3 receivers running on air because every DB was at the line of scrimmage or in the backfield. Yeah, they were coming up to stop the run, but they didn't read that tackle showing pass pro.
Yeah.
Come on, guys. We don't do that. We don't give them easy scores. Let's make them earn it. Let's make them drive. He has put the ball on the ground some this year, and their quarterback will make sophomore mistakes. So let's put the pressure on them.
This is a football team that's coming in. They got beat last week, had the big showdown game with Swanton, okay? They come in, they're already in the playoffs, but to win Friday night probably gets them a home field game, the home game to start with. So they're going to be hungry for that. And I would think equally as well for our guys, we could be hungry to maybe make them go on the road one week.
Yeah, a little redemption from last year and kind of wreck that perfect scenario to where they get the host at home and then they got to go. It's always great when you got them at home. Playoff game. I always loved having the first round. We made it 7 out of 10 years, and it's great. But, like I said, when you got to go on the road, you're like, man, I just want to win, and hopefully I can get back home next week.
Yeah.
It is what it is. But, our kids, I said motivation enough is getting the win. And let's end the season on a good note. We've had an improved season. We're doing better. Let's end on a good note. And, then, hey, if it causes them to lose home field, so what? I'm not caught up in, it's his last game, this, that. Go and play to win. And that's what we've been emphasizing with the boys. So hopefully, they buy in.
Yeah, well, it should be a lot of fun. When you go back over the season right now and look at the games that you played, is there one game you'd like to play over? Is there one game you'd like to have back?
Oh, I'd love to have the Columbian game back because, on 3rd down with 52 seconds left, I'm still going to run the ball.
Sure.
Okay, because he was out of timeouts. I want to get the clock down, okay, get it all the way down, get a good kick, play prevent, get into overtime because we have momentum. Okay, we really did. We had the momentum. We came roaring back. We had stopped their run. They weren't able to pass. We were doing well. And if there's one thing, it's like, listen, get to the running back and make sure he gets down. Just tell John, get down. No matter what, don't lose the ball. And I even said that, but, it's hard when they're holding you up and stripping. Maybe emphasize that more. We could have got it back, That game is one, even the Wassian game, we say, listen, don't throw it, take the sack. It's different. 2 plays hurt us in that game, the interception and the one big run.
Right.
Other than that, it's 7-6.
Right. And
that's a W. And, we got to learn it. Napoleon wins games that way. Right. Just by not making the mistakes. If they don't get it, fine. They don't force it, but they just keep playing great defense, and that's where we're trying to get to. You have a great defense, it helps a lot.
And I think that's a great example because look at Napoleon. They're sitting right on the edge, maybe able to make that playoffs this year. And they're nothing really fancy, nothing flashy. As you said, they just play really good, solid football.
Yeah, and that's the thing. If you don't make the mistakes, and our kids are maturing and they're learning that. They've seen it this year. And, when we play good, clean games, we're doing a good job. Van Wert was a clean game. Delta, we didn't make a whole lot of mistakes. Evergreen, we came out, and we were just able to physically outman them. That's a game, you line up and you pound it, okay? And you don't pull a whole lot of offense out to give a lot of people to prepare for. That's one that the Tiffin's the one that I'd like to have back the most, that and then Archibald, because I think, we could sit there, we still weren't ready to throw the ball, we were still green on it, and we didn't have our receivers back, we were still just trying to get, we had our backs, but it was difficult.
Yeah. Last year was such a tough year. This year's been a better year. Give me one good thing from this year, one bad thing that you're going to look at and take with you after the season's over.
Well, the high point of the year, I think, is the kids worked hard and they saw some, reward for their hard work in the weight room and things, and that they've enjoyed the season. I've enjoyed the season. Yeah, I don't like losing, but we've stayed positive. The kids, the coaches, everybody. Sometimes Friday nights aren't always positive coming out of the stands, but, those kids are doing the best they can. And so are those coaches, and we're all working. And I think things are getting better. The negative thing that I would take out of it is, we're right there. We just got to take that next step to get to the point where we won't back away. Okay, sometimes guys get banged and dinged and bruised, and they're just like, I can't go. Well, it's football. You're going to be sore and you're going to be hurt, and things like that. I think we got to learn to play through a little. Sometimes when you're sick and you don't feel good, you can still practice and you still play. If you're in school, you can play. If you're not going to the doctor, you need to be. I think we're better. They're doing a good job and the accountability's there. I just think we need that little bit more, and then we'll be okay. That's the only thing that, sometimes I think we will wave the white flag a little bit because it's easier than pushing through it.
Sure. Last thing, man, because of that hat you got on your head right now. Indians in the World Series. We won't be able to say what happens game 2 by the time people see this, but game 1 went our way. How did that make you feel? I know you're a big Tribe fan.
Oh, it was great. I moved back to Ohio, and the Cavs win it, and then the Indians win it.
Yeah.
Well, they're going to win it. But I went to school 20 minutes outside Cleveland in college. I went to Baldwin Wallace University, played there. We'd go down for games all the time. I've been to Municipal Stadium, way back when I used to live in Ohio and as a kid. Love them. I think they're going to win it. I think Game 5 is the final game. I think they'll get, Game 2. Game 3 in Chicago is going to be tough. I think that's the one. If they drop any, that'll be it. I think they'll rally, win Game 4, and when they come back to Cleveland, it's over.
Yeah.
I just think that they've got that drive, that overachiever, that nobody's stopping us. Chicago doesn't have that swagger a little bit,
Well, 10 weeks are about to be in the books, man. They always go fast. We always say that. The very first show, I always say, seems like when you start it, it's done because it just flies, and that's where we're at right now.
Yeah, we tell the seniors that, and Thursday's senior tackle, and that's their chance to talk to the team and impart their wisdom, a little tradition thing I always do. And it's been a good group. This group's really bought in, and they've really gotten behind the mentality that we're trying to build, and they've been good young men. I hope that the community sees that and sees that we're trying to make good men, not just good football players, and teach them what's right.
Well, Coach, week number 10, let's go get one, huh?
Yep. Well, we'll get after them.
No doubt. That's going to wrap it up here for this season on The Extra Point. Thanks for being a viewer. Thanks for going out to all the ball games, and go Bears.
Same formation. Jones the only wide receiver. This time Zach's going to say, let's just power behind this.
At Krill Funeral Service, we are professionals with the sincere desire to reward every family who have placed their trust and confidence in us by being attentive to every detail, displaying the highest level of courtesy and compassion, and providing the greatest measure of respect for their wishes. As remembrance planners, our goal is to help families find joy in the way they choose to remember, honor, and celebrate the wonderful life of their loved one. Krill Funeral Service, we are experts at helping hearts heal.
We're about 5 minutes away from the ball game tonight. Jimmy Bellamy and Jim Funderburg here from Golden Bear Stadium. And Jim, I'll tell you what, we did a little talking with some of the Liberty folks here, and we found out that they really are going to already host from everything that they can see right now, working on the numbers. And you know how Joe Idles is the genius when it comes to the numbers, and he's right on top of things every week. But according to what they feel and the numbers they've run, no matter what happens tonight, whether they win, lose, tie, or draw, they're going to be in, and they're going to host next week, and that will be a big plus, I think, for Coach Lindgren and his bunch.
Yeah, it sounds as though they could get as high as a 3, but no lower than a 4, 5, and 6. A little too far behind points-wise to catch up, even in a worst-case scenario. So a game not quite as imperative for Liberty Center, other than maybe playing for a little pride themselves. It doesn't sound like they can improve their playoff situation, but they certainly can't hurt their playoff situation either. So good position to be in if you're the Tigers, and I think they can come out a little more relaxed. I think both teams at this point should be able to come out pretty relaxed tonight.
Well, when you get into this football team, really it comes down to Zach Carpenter to start with. If you want to start someplace, Zach Carpenter, their kind of all-world running back at 6'1", about almost 200 pounds, the senior. We saw him last year. We saw him the year before. He's just a real workhorse type back, and we expect to see and call his name quite a bit here tonight. And the Bears are going to have to find a way to maybe slow him down a little bit and turn some things around. The other side, Jarrett Crew, their sophomore quarterback, has come on and played extremely well. And in talking to some of the folks from Liberty here today, they were telling me that that young guy has really lived up to expectations and then some. He's got his moments. He's a sophomore. He makes a few mistakes here and and there. He has some troubles every now and then, and the next thing you know, he makes a throw, and you sit there and say, oh, my goodness, that kid's only a sophomore. So it's going to be fun to watch Jarrett Crew tonight as he negotiates his week number 10 football game here as a sophomore.
And, you look at Crew, a little bit undersized at 5'8". Usually you think your prototypical quarterback is a little over 6, maybe 6'1", 6'2". So you have to look at what the defensive line is able to do. If he stays in the pocket, should be able to potentially get your hands up and knock those down. But sounds like he's had a pretty strong season, and he's able to find those receivers in those spots without worrying about the defensive line batting those balls out at the line.
When you go to the other side of their team here tonight, their defensive side, Ryan Demeline is a defensive end. He's a senior. His brother was here a couple of years ago, big strong fella at 6'1" and 2 1/4. You also have Austin Bachman, who is a senior, 6 foot 200, and Lucas Frankfurter, who is a defensive tackle, a junior, 6 foot 255. So the meat on the line is substantial. Big, solid, good farm kids coming over here and want to play a little football. And then when you start to take a look at the linebacker, Zach Carpenter again goes over to the other side and plays linebacker. Christian Colley will be another linebacker. He's a junior, 5'10", 190. Good-sized football team all the way around for this bunch. And, again, I think that will be one of the problems that the Bears might have tonight. Can they deal with the size? This is not as fast of a football team as what they saw last week with Mr. Johnson from Patrick Henry, but it's a team that just comes out and kind of punches you in the mouth and keeps punching you all night long.
Well, it's the classic matchup. If you are outmatched size-wise, you have to beat them with speed. So the Bears are going to need to rely on quickness tonight if they want to outmaneuver the oversized LC defensive line.
We're a couple of minutes away from kickoff here. Why don't we step away, take a break. When we come back, we'll have the national anthem, and we'll tell you who won the coin toss and get this thing kicked off here on the Golden Bear Sports Network.
This is my story. I'm a mother of 3, a wife, and a cat operator. I earned my degree in mechanical engineering technologies. Now I have a career doing exactly what I studied. I learned more, now I earn more.
Looking for a home in the Eden School District? Then you've got to check out Amerimaid Realty's listing at 507 Madison Street in Blakesley. This 3-bedroom home has been completely renovated and is much bigger than it appears. With over 1,800 square feet, it has a large family room with stone fireplace, large open kitchen, and formal dining. It also offers a double lot, a massive garage, and a deck for entertaining. Phone Misty King of Amerimaid Realty at 419-633-4997 or go to AmeramaidHomes.com. Amerimaid Realty, your hometown real estate pro.
Hey, you in the old silver car. Looks like you could use a new ride.
What?
At Darrell Shirkey Ford Lincoln, we can upgrade you to a nice pre-owned vehicle or a new Ford or Lincoln.
How are you doing this?
We have a huge selection of vehicles, and with our aggressive pricing policy, we make them very affordable.
This is pretty aggressive. I don't think a billboard's ever tried to sell me a car before.
Come and see why we are the fastest growing dealership in Northwest Ohio. Hey, you in the white pickup.
Newcomer Schaefer, Spangler, and Breininger is a great group of experts with a common goal: to serve the legal needs of this area with the greatest degree of integrity and excellence. Along with that, they respect and support the athletes in tonight's game for their determination and teamwork. An attorney's relationship with their client is like the one between a coach and their player, a position of trust. Newcomer Schaefer, Spangler, and Breininger are proud supporters of all the athletes and wish them continued success always.
Golden Bear Stadium, Jim Funderburg along with Jim Bellamy, and welcome in for those of you who are listening to us tonight on 96.5 FM and also BryanSports.com, no matter where you might be out in the area. If you're in the area listening on the radio, it's good to have you with us here tonight. And if you're a long ways away, you might be on WQCT's website on their stream or on BryanSports.com. Jim, you saw the coin toss. What happened there, bud?
Looked like LC won the coin toss and deferred to the second half, so the Bears should be going right to left on your video screen. And just close your eyes and picture it if you're listening on the radio. Unless you're driving, of course, keep your eyes on the road at all times.
At that point in time, we do need you to do exactly that. Well, it should be an interesting ball game. The Bears will drop once they get the band off the field, because the Bears band is all the way down in the goal line right now. Big thank you tonight to our sponsors, Jimmy, Oberlin Turnbull Funeral Home, Bryan Ford Lincoln, the athletic boosters here in Bryan, Northwest State Community College, somebody near and dear to your heart, Andrews O'Neill and Lowe, Krill Funeral Home and Crematory, AmeriMade Realty, Darryl Shirkey Ford, and newcomers Schaefer, Spangler, and Breininger. They are helping bring the ball game to you all year long, and it's hard to imagine, but we are in week 10 right now. Jones will be back deep here on the home side, and we'll have to take a look. I think that's Miller on the other side, because Culler was kind of banged up last week. Not sure where Sam's going to be this evening. I don't know that he's going to play. Let's see if we see a 2 down there on the football field. Nope, any streak civvies down here. I did not expect him tonight. But so you have Miller on the visitor side. You have Jones on the home side. They're standing back there on about the 5-yard line. Here's the kick. Kick will go to Miller. He'll field it at about the 12. He lost the ball, picks it up at the 20, then slips and falls down at the 25-yard line. And the Bears with some pretty decent field position, as they will start on the 25-yard line. First down and 10.
Yeah, all things considered, Jim, with the bobble on that kickoff right there, to be able to advance it a few extra yards after the catch. Good job by the Bears to hold on to that ball and get, as you said, decent starting field position at the 25.
Adam Harrod will be the tight end here this evening. Again, John Rittenhouse will start at the running back spot. And Colt Arthur will be one of the wide receivers. Zach Nobis the quarterback, unless things change. And you never can tell, as those open up here tonight in the spread. As the Bears go with that traditional one back in the backfield, Nobis now sends Jones in motion heading towards the home side. He'll take the ball and he'll roll that way, looking to throw. Running out of time, and he'll reverse his field. In fact, that's Miller in the backfield. Miller around the right end and up the football field and out of bounds in front of the LC bench right around the 40-yard line. So that is Nate Miller actually starting at quarterback tonight for the Bears. An interesting little twist. Coach was talking the other day that he was going to maybe do some things that we hadn't seen, and one of the things that we haven't seen is start the young freshman in at the quarterback spot here tonight. And Nate Miller with a nice pickup on first down gives the Bears a first down. First down and 10 after he gets 15 to the 40-yard line.
And the last game of the season, certainly no problem seeing what other opportunities you have on that bench.
Bears again with the spread. They have triples here on the home side. Miller will roll, looking to throw, has his guy. It's complete at around the 46-yard line, and that's Bryson Andrews. And Bryson last week had what I called kind of his coming-out game. He was just everywhere last week, and the sophomore starts it off with a pickup of about 6, and the Bears all of a sudden 2nd down and 4, looking to get that second first down here of the night. Just underway if you're joining us here from Golden Bear Stadium tonight. 11 minutes and 15 seconds, so we've not even played a minute here yet tonight. Again, Miller in the pistol look. He'll bring Jones towards the home sideline, fake it to him, turn and hand the ball off to Oliphant in the backfield, and he'll be locked down for a loss of a couple as he got stuffed back at about the 42-yard line. So we'll make it a loss of about 3, set it up a third down now and about 6 for the Golden Bears.
That's that oversized defensive line you talked about, Jim. They tried to run a little misdirection right there. Brought a man in motion on a possible jet sweep. Ended up bringing a counter play right there, but ran right into the strength of LC's defense.
Waldvogel was the running back on that play. Waldvogel lost a couple of yards on that carry. And he's trying to get all the dirt and the sod out of his helmet right now as he lines up to the right of Nate Miller. Miller now will roll. I mean, we're back to 18 Nobis now. Nobis throws, and he's got his guy. Cross midfield into LC territory. The completion is at the 46-yard line, 47-yard line, and it'll be a first down and 10. So they sent Nate Miller in just for a play or two, and now we're back to Zach Nobis under control of this offense. The junior back, number 18. And I'll tell you, 18 and 10, Jim, at times can turn these old eyes sideways, buddy.
Came up kind of gimpy on that play at the end, too, Jim.
Triples go to the home side now for the Bears. Single running back in the backfield. Nobis in the pistol look right at midfield. He'll drop. He'll roll towards the home crowd, and he'll throw the football, and it's complete inside the LC 40-yard line. They're going to mark him actually right at the 40-yard line. And again, it is Bryson Andrews with the catch, and the sophomore starting to really show that he's maybe the dependable receiver we're looking for down the road, Jim.
It's basically been used in every play so far, it seems like.
Andrews gets about 7 on that play. And the Bears look at a second down and call it a long 3. Triples go to the visitors' side this time. Again, Nobis in the backfield with a running back to his right. He'll drop straight back and throw. And this one a little too tall as he looks for Jones down around the 30-yard line as he was running an out pattern towards the LC bench. Over his head and safely away from everybody. It falls at about the 25-yard line. It'll set up a third down now. And the Bears with, call it 4 as the ball's really at the 40. And they have to go just about to the 36-yard line for this first down. Interesting decision tonight for the Bears. Hopefully they'll get this one and not have to worry about a fourth down, but they are definitely in LC territory, and you know Coach Redhead, he's not worried about going forward on fourth down and short if he can get closer. Jones goes in motion. Nobis rolls to his right, throws the ball out in the flat. It hits the receiver in the hands, but he can't pull it in, and it's incomplete down around the 30-yard line. Ball intended for Adam Harold. Nope, it was Bryson Andrews, 28, not 21, and it will set up a fourth down and about 4, and it does look like the Bears are going to kick this one away.
I think you play the field position game early. Try to pin him inside the 15 if you can. Maybe a nice directional kick.
Morris will drop back deep around the 10-yard line on the Liberty sideline.
See if they go at an angle here or try to hang it up. Oh,
they fake it. They give it to Miller, and Miller's going to have the first down. He goes around the right end. He's up to the 30, inside the 30 to the 25-yard line, and steps out of bounds in front of the Liberty bench right at the 24.5-yard line. So they short snapped it up to Miller, who was the short back on that. Jones did the traditional fake. Oh, the ball went over my head. And by that time, Miller was around the end, had the first down, and the Bears will have the ball right on the 25-yard line. First down and 10 with 9 minutes to play here in this first quarter.
Well-designed fake right there. They sealed off the right side. LC didn't really give the wholehearted punt rush right there. Almost makes you think that they kind of expected a fake, but they were just outmaneuvered.
Waldvogel, they're running back to the left of Nobis, who is in the pistol. They send Jones in motion towards the home sideline. Nobis has to escape one tackler. Now he reverses his field and heads and throws. He's got a guy wide open in the back of the end zone, but you're right, Jimmy. I think he's about 3 yards up the football field, isn't he?
Yep, beautiful pass. Great completion right there, but he was about 2 yards past the line of scrimmage on that throw. So unfortunately, this one's coming back.
Nobis had started to his left. He ran into some serious opposition, had to turn his attention to the other direction, then headed towards the Liberty sideline. And as he was heading towards that Liberty sideline, he crossed the line of scrimmage, took about 3 steps, and let go a perfect strike to the back corner of the end zone, which would have been a touchdown to Colt Arthur with only one problem. He was 3 yards past that line of scrimmage.
Yep, and that also brings up a loss of down. So you lose 5 on the penalty plus the down, so it's now 2nd and 15 for the Bears.
So the Bears will have the ball at the 30-yard line, 2nd down and 15. And what appeared to be a touchdown, because I'll tell you what, Colt Arthur had lost his man in that secondary.
Oh, yeah, had him twisted and turned around.
And he was all by himself in that visitor's end zone, clearing the back corner on the visitor's side. Nobis again in the pistol look. He's got Waldvogel to his left. He's got 3 wide receivers on the home side. He'll look to throw again. This time he'll throw it to Jones in the flat. Jones gets a block. He's at the 30, inside the 30 to the 25-yard line, and he steps out of bounds just across the 25-yard line. It'll set up a 3rd down now and about 9 for the Bears. So
8:40 or 6 on that play in the screen pass, Jim.
8:41 to play here in the first quarter. The main stop scoreboard has no score on it right now. Bears got the opening kickoff, and this is the opening drive here of the evening. If you just tuned in, Nate Miller started with the first couple plays on this drive, and then Zach Nobis came back in, and both have been effective so far. They send Bryson Andrews and Colt Arthur to the top. Andrews will be the farthest. Arthur more in the slot. Jones will go in motion from the home side to the visitor's side. Nobis will roll that direction and throw, and he's going deep. He's got Arthur in the end zone. The ball's on the money, but it's not held on to. I'll tell you what.
On defense, because that was a completed pass all the way. Jarred it loose at the end.
Got to give that to Zane Peterson, I believe. Peterson, number 25, was the back in coverage. He was beaten initially But by the time the ball got to Colt Arthur in the back corner of the end zone, Peterson had caught up. And I think you're right, Jimmy. He knocked that ball away. So it's 4th down now and 9 for the Bears. They'll be lined up here on the home hash mark. And they're going to try a field goal. Jones is in, and he is at the 32-yard line. 31.5 is where they're going to spot this down. So this will be about a 41.5, almost a 42-yard kick from the left hash mark. 8:33. They faked a punt already. Good spot. Good kick. It's on its way.
That's good.
It's right through the uprights. We've been asking about that. Chris Malenga, sitting at his house right now, has been calling for field goals all year long. And just like that, Josh Jones knocks a big one down. And the Bears go up on the main stop scoreboard 3-0. We'll take a break right here on the Golden Bears Sports Network.
You know, gathering with those we love, we get to catch up and we get to reflect on the past.
It seems like every time we get together, I always learn something new.
Here's the front page of the Columbus Dispatch when he won state baseball tournament, sliding into home plate.
Look at that, the front page. And that's a neat picture.
That was a great memory. I'll never forget that.
At Oberlin Turnbull Funeral Home, we understand that there are special memories that need to be remembered and shared.
Golden Bear Stadium, 8:29 to play here in this first quarter, Jim, and a nice field goal attempt by Josh Jones here, the senior. We've been talking about him all year long. What kind of a leg does he have? Well, that one was 42, and what do you think? You could have added at least another 5 or 6 on top of that, don't you think?
Yeah, it's a pretty quiet night as far as the wind goes. Not a whole lot of wind to influence the kick, so you want to see what a kicker can do in good conditions. And again, you're almost into November at this point. It's unseasonably warm. I think the warmth also has a lot to do with the ability to kick from deep like that. Colder it gets, the tougher it is to kick that ball. The ball gets a little harder. So good job by the Bears to execute, and good job showing trust in the kicker right there to give him the lead.
Jones would kick off. Morris is here on the home side. That ball go over his head and out into the end zone and be downed. In fact, that was Devin Good, number 9. Number 9 is Northwest, instead of number 3, Brendan Morris. But the ball goes into the end zone. It'll be a touchback, and we'll come out to the 20-yard line, and this will be the first opportunity tonight for the Liberty Center Tigers, as it's a Golden Bear team that took the opening kickoff, drove pretty well, drive stalled out a little bit, and Josh Jones kicked one through from 42 yards out. Well, let's see how much we're going to see tonight of Zach Carpenter, 34. They're going to hand it to a different running back right now, and he's up the middle of the football field and at the 40. Close to the midfield stripe goes 31, Austin Like.
So Like with a huge run.
Like gets it into Golden Bear territory at the 46-yard line. Looking down, waiting for 34 to have that football. Instead, the number that we didn't even have our sheet, 31.
Yeah, with Austin Like, number 31, 5'8", 140. Only a sophomore.
Hand it to Like again. He's going to sweep the left side, and he has room again as he turns the corner. He's up around the 40 and inside the 40 to about the 38-yard line.
About 8 on that carry.
So a pickup of 8 for Liberty Center, and it'll be second down and a long 2.
Bears defense, hopefully tonight is a bend but don't break defense, because they're doing a whole lot of bending so far in those first 2 plays. Going to need to stiffen up against the run.
Wing T situation has the fullback, basically Zach Carpenter, right in the middle of the backfield, and they hand it to Zach this time, and he's going right up the middle of the field. Big hole opens up, and he'll be close to the 30-yard line before the Bears knock him down. 31, give him 7. And that will be enough for a first down. And just like that, boy, I'll tell you what, this big offensive line of Liberty Center taking care of business along that line of scrimmage, Jim.
Well, what's that tell you when they run the wing T?
Yeah.
That tells you that we have a stronger offensive line than you have a defensive line, and we're going to push you around.
Put the wing back now over here on the home side with the 2 backs in the backfield, and they'll go right back to Carpenter. And Carpenter on that dive play will be inside the 30 and close to the 26-yard line, as he'll get another 5 yards on first down. And that's exactly what they want to do. But when you take a look at the guys up front right now, Lucas Frankfurter is 6 foot 255. And he's just kind of an average size guy for this offensive line. A good, solid offensive line that has really allowed this offense to flourish this year. Again, the wing on the home side, they'll turn and fake. Quarterback going to drop and throw, and they'll throw out into the flats. And again, that's like
incomplete.
Balls hits him right in the hands, but he's not able to pull it down. And Cole Arthur with a good tackle, I think, stripped that football away.
That's exactly right. Arthur came in late, just like that breakup in the end zone the other way. The pass was completed, but he did a good job making a good break on that ball. Closed in, was able to jar the ball loose before he could complete the act of catching the ball, which is probably the most discussed thing in football, and it really shouldn't be.
Crew had the football on the money. He'll be under center here again with these two backs behind him. They'll fake and hand it to Like, and Like will try to go left side. He cuts it in off tackle. He'll get about 3 of what he needs. He needs 5, gets about 3. The Bears right there to knock him down. Clayton Farrell, one of the guys on the tackle for the Golden Bears. It'll set up a 4th down. In fact, they're going to mark him at about the 29.5. So they only really gave him about 2 on that carry, and it'll set down a 4th down and about 4, and Liberty is going to go for it here. Again, their quarterback goes under center. 2 backs in the backfield. They'll pitch to Carpenter. He's going to sweep left side. He'll be close, but I'm not sure he got there. We'll just have to see where they spot it.
Now, if we were up in Albion, they would have already determined whether it's a first down. They're saying it's the turnover on downs. Bears hold.
Farrell and Nye were the 2 guys that got there early, and they held Carpenter to about 3.5 of the 4 yards he needed for the first down, and the Bears defense stiffens, and they give the offense the ball back with 6:08 to play here in the first quarter. So a nice job by the Bears defense when it looked like Liberty had things moving pretty well to be able to slow that offense down, keep them from accomplishing that 4th down and turning the football back over on downs to their offense. So the second opportunity of the night for the Golden Bears has Zach Nobis running the controls in the pistol look. Waldvogel it's Belts this time, 44, and they hand the ball to Belts, and Damon gets back to the line of scrimmage and tries to fight for some yardage, but I don't think he got much. In fact, he might have been just a little bit shy of that original line of scrimmage. They'll give him the line of scrimmage. They'll say it's 2nd down and 10. A little counter off of the right side, didn't go very far.
You can see the Bears in no rush after huddling up. They're definitely not running the no huddle that's all the rage in high school and college.
Bears bring 2 receivers here to the home side. They bring Jones in motion from the visitor side to the home side. They'll roll that direction and throw. Andrews had the ball hit him in the hands at the 35-yard lines, but he also saw big number 55, Kristen Colley, coming his way and took his eye off the football for a half a second, lost the football. That would have been close to the first down. Instead, it's 3rd down now and 10 for the Bears.
Well, anytime you're running any of those in routes, Jim, you have to know you're going to get hit. So, it's that game of chess you and I always talk about when we broadcast. You can't do the next move till you complete the first move, and you got to get that ball in the hands first before you worry about anything else.
55, about a almost 200-pounder coming with a full head of steam, and Andrews took his eye off the football. Bears signed all 3 receivers here on the home side. Single running back in the backfield. Quarterback will roll towards us. Gets away from a couple of the Tigers, and he's going to keep the football. He's across the 25, across the 30. He'll be close to the first down. In fact, he's about a yard ahead of the stick. It'll be 1st down and 10. And again, that is Nobis, Zach Nobis, 18.
Yep.
Got to check those numbers, man. When they snuck 10 on me right away, and I missed it. You can see physically sized just a little bit different. They're about the same height, but the Nobis has about 15, 20 pounds on the freshman.
Well, if you look down at the
10's right in front of me.
Miller also, though, has some black, I guess you call them warm-up leggings or whatever the male equivalent of that is.
Nobis drops. He had triples to the visitor side. He throws across the middle looking for Arthur, and that one was behind him and a little bit too tall. And again, Arthur had a defensive back closing on him pretty hard. Took the eye off the football, but that would have been one heck of a catch if he could have pulled that one in, because Julian Bostelman was on his way towards him and the ball behind him, so he had not only the defensive back to look at, but also trying to track that ball that was about a yard behind him.
Well, here's the thing, though. If you're running, if you run those crossing patterns, you know you're going to take contact, so the best thing to do is just do what the Colts used to do in the NFL. Catch it and go down. Don't worry about the contact. Just catch the ball and then get down.
Doubles go to the top, single to the bottom. That's Jones. He goes in motion now towards that way. They ran the ball to Belts on the counter, and Belts, I don't think, gets the line of scrimmage. He'll lose about a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down and about 11 for the Bears. Bears trying to keep things balanced here tonight. They've thrown the ball. They're trying to run the ball.
I think they're using the run to keep the pass defense honest because they've had a decent amount of success through the air so far in this second drive.
And they've stayed in the pistol with the spread all night long as they send triples up to the visitor's sideline. Damon Belts, again, the only running back. He's to the right of the quarterback. Nobis drops. He's got time. He throws up to the sideline. That one's a little tall, and Colt Arthur tried to pull it down before he stepped out of bounds. Couldn't get the ball. Stepped out of bounds just before the stick. Even if he would have pulled that down, he was having to look so much. He was about a yard shy. Instead, it would be 4th down. The Bears will have to kick this one away.
A little too much air and too much touch on that pass right there, Jim. That's one where you didn't have to really clear it over a defender. Got to put that on a little more of a line to give your receiver a chance to catch that inbounds. Instead, he was having to trail the whole time, so he couldn't have possibly stayed inbounds had he even caught it.
Austin Like is the deep man back here at about the 32-yard line on the home side. They'll kick it the other way, though, to Morris. Morris puts his hand in the air, and then he says, everybody get away, as he came forward on the ball that was actually kicked over his head. Takes a Bryan bounce at about the 33, rolls dead at about the 27. And Liberty will have the football with 3:55 in the first quarter in their second opportunity here of the night. Main stop scoreboard. Golden Bears 3, Liberty 0 here. You're listening to the Golden Bears Sports Network. Great to have you with us here tonight. Chris Malenga not with us this evening, not feeling all the well, sitting back at the house. So Jimmy Bellamy with me tonight. And it's good to have Jim up here in the booth with us this evening as we try to bring you the final game here in the 2016 football season. Again, a turn, and they'll hand it to Carpenter, and I think you're going to see an awful lot of the workhorse right now. He'll come off right tackle for about 4, maybe 5. They're going to give him 4 at the 33, and they're going to give him 5 now to the 33.5. So second down and give him 6, second down and 4.
Both teams running a very methodical offense so far, Jim. Got a stoppage of play here. Resetting the play clock, or the play clock didn't move or something like that.
Play clock now moving to 22 seconds. As quarterback goes under center, they turn and hand to Carpenter, and Carpenter ran into Golden Bears right at the line of scrimmage, and give a big shout out to Frankie Hartsock. Hartsock just lined him up, wrapped him up, and dropped him. Got about a yard, but that was it. As Hartsock said, well, you know, I'll give you that much, but no more. It'll set up third down now and a long 2.
I think the only reason he got 2 on that play, Jim, was because of the way he was tackled. Instead of pushing back, he basically had to go over the shoulder with it, which pushed him forward about a yard and a half.
Crew under center. They'll hand it again to the workhorse, Carpenter, and Carpenter is going to be really close. Off left tackle. This one may need to be measured.
What do you think, Jim? Take a guess.
I think they said first down. Boy, I was about to tell you just the opposite of that. They were going to bring that out and measure it, and we were going to be 3 inches short, but it looked like he got it by 3 inches. Ball would be sitting at the 37 and change, and the sticks will move. First down and 10 now for Liberty.
Is there a limited work capacity thing? Nobody ever measures anymore.
Carpenter, the only back in the backfield. They'll hand the ball off to Like, who sweeps from his right wing spot, and he slips and falls down as he's trying to cut around the left corner, and he'll lose about 3. Inside the 35 to about the 34-yard line. So, yeah, I think you're right, Jim. The number of measurements we've seen over the last 2 years.
Non-existent.
Yeah, if you were getting paid by the measure, you and I would be starving to death right now, wouldn't we? Huh?
Imagine how the Carpenters feel. They always tell you measure twice and cut once. I mean, these guys cut twice and don't measure at all.
Wing at the top and the bottom, and again, they'll send somebody in motion. But before everything happens, we've got a flag on the ground and a procedure call against Liberty Center. Wing T that Coach Lindgren loves to run, and they're showing one of the alternatives to it as they put a wing to the left right behind basically a tackle, a wing to the right at the same spot, and then Carpenter all by himself in basically an eye position right behind the quarterback who's under center.
Showing you different looks within the wing T, though, Jim. Maybe experimenting with things to give your opponent in the playoffs something else to think about.
Single running back as the quarterback will drop now, and he'll throw. It's Like in the flat at the 39-yard line. It's a completion. And Arthur is right there with the tackle right at the 40. So they'll get all the penalty yards back plus a couple, and they'll set up a third down now and about 7. Jarrett Crew, the sophomore, has been pretty accurate the couple times he's thrown tonight, Jim. Pretty impressive with the with his accuracy as the sophomore has done a good job. Peterson goes to the top of the screen, and they'll go the opposite direction as the big fella hands the ball to Mr. Carpenter. Carpenter finds a hole right off a right tackle, and he scrambles his way up to the 50-yard line. That'll be first down and 10. In fact, he pokes the ball across the 50. It'll be at the 49-yard line of the Golden Bears. So got what he needed, plus about a half a dozen. And with a minute to go here in the first quarter, Liberty will have the football at the Bears' 49-yard line, first down and 10.
Quick moving first quarter here.
Crew, again, the quarterback, goes under center. Light goes in motion. Crew will roll towards the Liberty sideline and throws, but the pass behind Light and above his head. Good coverage up there by Nate Miller. And like the intended receiver, had to look backwards behind him by a couple of yards. And that one, just as we were bragging about the young sophomore and his accuracy, that one was thrown a couple of yards behind the intended receiver, and it'll set up a second down and 10. Stop the clock with 43 seconds to go here in the first quarter. And the Bears on top on the main stop scoreboard, 3-0 here. It's a 42-yard field goal by Jones tonight. That's the only points on the board. Carpenter now the only running back in the backfield, and they'll fake it to him. Crew will roll back and look to throw this ball deep down the field, and it's overthrown over the head of Caleb Carpenter. You know, Caleb Carpenter, Jimmy, played center for these guys last year, but he's so athletic. He's the younger brother of Zach, and they're just finding a way, I think, to move him into the spot that Big Brother's been filling for a long time, because when you take a look at the two, if you stand them side by side, they're about the same size. 6'1", 210 pounds, good solid workhorse running back. So, you know, he was basically an all-league center last year, and this year they decided, well, you know, Big Brother's going to be leaving here in a year. We better get you groomed for next year. Single receiver goes to the Liberty sideline. Single running back in the backfield to send a guy in motion, and the counter right up the middle goes to Carpenter, and a flag before anything gets started. Carpenter went up the field for about 3, but procedure before everything got going will wipe that 3-yard pickup out and send the Liberty Tigers back into their territory at the 44-yard line.
I think they should throw a couple seconds back on the clock. I don't know if the officials caught that or not, but I think it ran down from about 31 and change to 29 and change after they blew the play dead there. So maybe it's
well, it's
off or not.
They call that home field advantage around here, Jimmy. How's that? We're going to run it a couple of more times. How's that? Christian Chambers will be the wide receiver on the Liberty sideline. Crew is going to drop the throw, and he's heading towards Chamber up the sideline, and that ball is knocked away.
Right there. Great coverage.
Jones on the coverage back there, and that ball really was thrown pretty well. Jones was able to make his turn just when he needed to and swat that football away, and so it'll set up now a 4th down situation here for Liberty. And with 22 seconds left to go in the first quarter, the Bears should be getting the ball back, but I'll tell you what, everybody, after the Bears fake their first punt of the night, everybody's looking for a little razzle-dazzle tonight, I do believe. Good snap. Kicks kind of a wobbly one that hits at the 30. Bears will pick it up at the 25, to the 30, to the 35, to about the 37-yard line.
Gutsy play.
And that'll be where the Bears will have the football as they get started, and that was Waldvogel who picked that up and ran it back. In fact, that was Mason Oliphant instead, 38, that picked that up and brought it back up. So it'll be Bears ball at the 36-yard line with 11 seconds left to go in the opening quarter. And the Bears up 3-0. Great to have you with us here on the Golden Bear Sports Network tonight on 96.5 FM and on BryanSports.com.
So 2 penalties by the Tigers that drive the first 2 of the night. Backed them up 10 yards and kind of messed up the flow of that offensive possession right there.
Bears again with 2 wide receivers on the home side and Jones coming from the visitor side. They'll throw the ball deep down the middle. Cole Arthur's got it. He's into Liberty territory at the 35-yard line. Nice toss, nice catch. All of a sudden, the Bears starting to get a little bit of rhythm here in that offense. And I'll tell you what, Zach Nobis, who just absolutely had a horrible first part of this season, is slowly but surely getting that confidence. They're giving him time tonight, and that ball was thrown just about as well as we've seen him throw it all year long, Jim. I think that'll be the last play of the quarter as the clock winds down to 0-0. With that, we'll take a timeout. The Bears on top on the Main Stop scoreboard 3-0 here on the Golden Bear Sports Network.
Things are starting to settle down here at Bryan Ford Lincoln. After the fire, we had to rearrange everything. We brought in new offices for our staff. We reorganized our inventory to accommodate our new layout. Things are starting to feel a little more like home.
Morning, Chip.
Maybe a little too comfortable. Bryan Ford Lincoln, great deals, great people, great experiences.
They say there is strength in numbers. In Bryan, we have always taken pride in supporting our Golden Bear student athletes in all of their sporting endeavors. The Bryan Athletic Boosters now have a chance for you to get into the game. If you're Bryan proud, it's time to become Bryan strong. Whether you were a BHS athlete, are raising a BHS athlete, or just love supporting our Bryan High School athlete, this is your chance to be part of the BHS sporting community. Talk to any board member today on how easy it is to join, or contact us at 419-636-4536.
12 minutes here as we get started in quarter number 2, and the Bears first down and 10 at the Liberty Center 35-yard line. And so far, the Golden Bears offense has been pretty solid here tonight. Damon Belt's the only running back in the backfield. He's to the left of the quarterback, and they'll fake the handoff to Jones, and Nobis will keep it. And he'll get a couple of yards off left guard across the 35 to about the 34-yard line. Give him about 2 on that carry and set up down a second down. And we're gonna be a hometown crowd right now, Jimmy, and call it a long 8. How's that?
Works for me. Good job of sidestepping to the left right there, though. Otherwise, that play would have been swallowed up for either no loss or a loss on the no gain, I'm sorry, or a loss of 1 on the play. But a good sidestep to his left right there to evade a pressure at least momentarily and push forward.
Andrews will be the widest receiver of the 3 as they'll put triples to the top, and they'll roll that direction. And Nobis is going to go around the end, but there's a flag in the backfield, and I'm afraid we either have a hold or a block in the back, probably in the Bears backfield, and that's going to wipe out about an 8-yard scamper for Zach Nobis, who got inside the 30 down to about the 27-yard line. I think that's the first penalty of the night for the Golden Bears, and Liberty's had a couple of them tonight. They've been really drive stallers, and it will be a holding call. And it's going to be spotted from the spot of the foul, which is really even going to make it more difficult, as that ball will come all the way back to the Liberty 48-yard line. And the Bears have to go down to the 26, so it's going to be about second down at about 22 here for the Golden Bears, if my subtraction skills are good. How's that?
I'm just going to leave you hanging on that
one. They say 23 on the scoreboard, so that was pretty darn close. How's that, even without an abacus or anything up here? Nobis will roll right. He's got pressure coming. He ducks away from it, but he's not going to get away from it, as he'll have to be knocked down at about the 49-yard line. Liberty says the ball was loose. Officials not really signaling it that way. They're saying second down. We couldn't see it up here, but Liberty.
Yep.
Liberty does have the football right now, but the officials, no doubt in their mind, they weren't changing their mind at all, even though Liberty was there signaling one way or another. Now, they did mark the ball at the 48, and I think they're going to move that back to the, well, maybe not 49. I'm thinking that's where it looks like that's where they're spotting it. Now they're discussing the whether it was a fumble or not. And it is Bryan ball after the officials got together at about the 49-yard line.
That's not going to make the LC sideline too happy.
It will set up a third down and a whole bunch. 22 here for the Bears. And Liberty coaches on the sideline a couple of steps onto the football field, and they want to take a timeout, so we'll take one with them. 11:03 to play, second quarter. The Main Stop scoreboard has a 3-0 Bears here on the Golden Bear Sports Network.
This is my story. I'm a mother of 3, a wife, and a cat operator. I earned my degree in mechanical engineering technologies. Now I have a career doing exactly what I studied. I learned more, now I earn more.
An insurance policy is essentially a promise to pay for covered losses that occur to your assets. At Andrews O'Neill & Lowe, we take this promise seriously, from the minute you accept the policy to the moment the loss occurs and beyond. That's why we place your auto, home, or business insurance with an experienced carrier like the Central Mutual Insurance Company. Our expertise, matched with Central's quality products and service, provide you protection, security, and peace of mind. Andrews O'Neill & Lowe is your local Central agent. Call us today at 419-636-5050.
So what appeared to be in Liberty's eyes maybe a fumble ends up being Bryan ball, and it's 3rd down and long. They have the football on the Liberty 48-yard line.
And I just want to take a moment, Jim, to say good job on your math.
Yeah.
It's 3rd and 22.
What do you think, huh? Well, you know,
I think even a broken clock is right twice a day.
Now we got to move all the smoke that came out of my ears up here trying to figure that out. We're going to have to open up the windows and get rid of it right at this point.
Is that what that is? Okay.
Bears being triples here to the home side. Zach Nobis in the pistol look. Waldvogel, the running back. Nobis gets away just as he's hit, and the ball was a little bit high. Jones went up, skying for it down at about the 25-yard line, but unable to put both hands on it, and it will be incomplete. And it'll set up a 4th down and extremely long, and the Bears will have to kick that one away.
I think if ever there's an opportunity for a blitz, 3rd and 22 is an excellent opportunity. So good job sending pressure off the right side right there, and forcing Nobis to not be able to step into that pass as well as you wanted. I don't even think that he was the intended target. I think he was going longer for the right sideline right there, but falls harmlessly incomplete.
They're going to kick it away. Like will be on the Liberty side, and they'll hit the ball to Like. He'll catch the football, gets a block. 22, close to the 24-yard line. The Bears knock him down there, and Liberty will have the football 1st down and 10. At about the 24-yard line of Liberty Center. In fact, they're going to mark it right at the 25 here now that they bring the ball out and spot it. 10:37 to play here, second quarter. The only difference in this ball game so far is the Bears' 42-yard field goal on their very first possession of the night. Crew turns, hands, and dive right up the left side, and that is 17 with that football.
17's Christian Chambers.
So Chambers gets about 2 on that 1st down carry. Heading now from the right side to our left side, and kind of hard to catch that number. You can always tell who Zach Carpenter is because he's the big, mean, strong-looking dude in the backfield, and he's the only back there as Chambers goes in motion. They fake the ball to him on the jet sweep. They hand the ball to Chambers right up the center of the field, and Chambers will have a 1st down as he drags Bears across the 35 to about the 37-yard line.
About 9 on that carry up the gut. They used Chambers that time on the fake on the jet sweep. Play they've had a little success with.
They will bring Chambers again and put him on the wing here on the home side. They've got a wing back on the visitors' side as well. Now Chambers goes in motion, and they hand the ball to Carpenter. And Carpenter goes off right tackle across the 40, close to the 43-yard line. And
about
again,
5 on that one?
I think you're going to see, give him 6, I think, actually, Jim. Yeah, but you're right. It depends on where they spot him. But looks like he got 6, 2nd down and 4. And I believe you're going to see an awful lot of number 34. I would be surprised if you didn't put the football into his hands quite a bit. Like will be the wing back on the visitors' sideline. Chambers on the home sideline. He goes in motion towards the visitors' side. They turn and hand
the same play.
Yep, Carpenter again, and Carpenter has the option then to either cut that into the line of scrimmage if he wants to, I'm sure, or follow his lead blocker Chambers around that corner if he feels that's a better place to go.
Well, what's the old madness and keep running it till they stop you, right?
Yeah, I'll tell you what. And when you got this big guy in the backfield, I'd run him and run him and run him. That's 3rd down and short as he's probably about a foot away from a 1st down.
I mean, he's 18 yards on the last 3 carries, running basically the same play. So, I mean, it's working.
Pound him, pound him, pound him. I would agree with that one. Pitch now this time. And he gets around the corner. He lost the football. It's on the ground. Let's see who came up with it. It's Liberty's football, and he'll be into Bryan territory. He got hit right on the arm, and it popped loose as he crossed the 50 at about the 48. Ball advanced forward about 2 yards, and the Tiger is able to fall on it on the Bryan 46. So with 9 minutes to play here in the first half, it'll be Liberty football. 1st down and 10 on the Bryan 46-yard line, and again, you don't see Zach Carpenter put the ball on the grass too often. To hand the ball to Like. He'll get around the left corner before he gets hit by Nate Miller at the 41-yard line, and they put his shoulders down and was able to push forward to the 40. Give him 6. Miller with the tackle for the Bears. And this running game all of a sudden starting to really dig in here tonight at Golden Bear Stadium.
Yep. Miller with a nice hit on Like right there, but again, going for the big stick, but he's still able to spin out and get 2 more yards out of that instead of get stopped in his tracks or driven backwards.
2 backs in the backfield, and they'll hand it to Carpenter, and Carpenter kind of lost his footing as he's trying to cut back, and there are Bears all over him there at the 40. He was able to lean forward to the 39. Oliphant there to make the tackle for the Golden Bears.
And he tripped over his own man, Christian Daw, number 51. Jim had gotten kind of maneuvered down, and then I think he stepped on him or tripped over him to lose his footing and not gain any more out of that play.
Zane Peterson checks in, 25. He'll be on the wing on this home side, on the far sideline. And before everything gets going, again, a procedure call against Liberty. That offsides against the Bears. Wow.
Yep, which would give them an automatic first down.
So 3rd down and 3 ends up being 1st down and 10 here for Liberty as the Bears lined up offsides. And Coach Redhead coming off the sideline, not to talk to the officials, but to talk to his guys, because he must have seen exactly what the officials saw. Because you know when Coach Redhead's upset, he's much like Coach Lindgren. They like to chat just a little bit to the guys in the striped shirt if they have that opportunity. And this time it looked like a friendly conversation. 34-yard line. Crew goes under center, turns, fakes, drops to pass, throws out in the flat. This one's overthrown, and I'll tell you what, a nice job by Jones to kind of step in front of that, and I think he saw it at the last second and was trying to throw that ball up high so that Like was the intended receiver would have a chance of it, but Jones stepped in front. Ball had to be thrown a little too tall, Jim.
Yep, and that reminisce of that play the Bears ran on, I believe, their last possession where Novus put a little bit too much air under it.
Yep.
That's where, you know, we said if Novus had thrown that on a rope, it would have been complete. Had he put that on a rope, that would have been a pick 6.
Carpenter, the only back in the backfield. Chambers goes in motion. Flag on the ground. Offsides, Bears again.
I want to say, Jim, that this is Angeletta.
And
he's lining up with his head, I believe, over the ball. You got to back up.
So the 5 yards will give the Tigers a much more favorable 2nd down. What was 2nd down and 10 now becomes 2nd down and 5. Ball inside the 30 at the 29-yard line.
You want to get that edge if you're playing the nose.
That was Hartsock, Jimmy. I think you had the
Hartsock.
Yep. I think you had the 75 on the other side. The ball comes loose,
Bryan
and the Bears have it. Josh Jones picks it up at the 23-yard line as Zach Carpenter coughs it up as he's heading through the middle of the line. And again, I don't know what the Bears have seen maybe in the way that Carpenter's carrying the football, but somehow that's 2 in this drive that came loose. This time the Golden Bears come up with it on the Golden Bear 23-yard line. So with 7:16 to play here in this first half, Bears offense comes back out on the football field. And they'll have the ball 1st down and 10, and let's see if they can get that offense moving again.
The Bears right here with like a nice 7-minute and 16-second drive. Put a few points on the board going into the half.
Damon Belts will be the running back. He will be to the right of Zach Novus, who's in the pistol. There's 2 wide receivers here on the home side. Arthur goes in motion towards the visitor side, and they'll hand the ball to Damon Belts. He breaks a tackle in the backfield, and he will punish a couple of guys as he works his way across the 25 to about the 27.5, almost the 28-yard line. So give Damon Belts the better part of 5 on that 1st down carry after he really ran out of a tackle in the backfield and then had to run through a couple of white shirts at the line of scrimmage. So a nice job by the senior to pick up about 5 on 1st down.
But he's able to get a couple of steps and get ahead of steam to put his head down and really push forward instead of having been driven back by the LCD line.
2 wide receivers here on the home side. Jones, the only guy at the top, and now he comes in motion. They'll fake the ball to him, and Novus will come right up the middle of the field. He's got the 1st down across the 35, close to the 39-yard line. And that's something that you can see Zach Novus as the year goes on. He's just getting a little bit more confident all year long, and he saw that one. It's kind of a read option at that point in time. He can do what he wants to do, and he decided he was going straight up the middle of the football field, got everything he needed for the 1st down. It'll be 1st down and 10 Bears at the 39.
Got about 11 on that play right there, and you're absolutely right. He saw something in the defense to decided to call his own number and tuck that one in and take off pretty much right up the middle, untouched for quite a while.
Again in the pistol look with a couple of receivers to the top of the field. Jones comes from the home side, heading towards the visitor's side. Nobis will roll towards that visitor's side. He has time, throws it to the middle of the field. He's got his man. Ball comes loose. I think they're going to say Bears fell on it after it was completed to Adam Harold, but we've got a flag in the Bears backfield that could very easily be a holding call against the Golden Bears again. And that one will go against Damon Belts as he was protecting his quarterback. Ball was completed out around the 48-yard line.
And if that's a spot foul, that'll actually back them up 11. Looks like the marker is back at the 38-yard line, whereas the original line of scrimmage is the 39. So it might be a 2nd and 21, or 1st and 21.
First and 21 was what was about to be a 2nd down and 1, depending on whether that was going to be a completed pass all the way through or whether it was completed pass and even a fumble, because we didn't get to that point. The ball did come loose after it was caught. All wiped out by the holding call, and it will be obviously Bears football. Must have been the eventual call was either going to be incomplete or the Bears did recover that fumble. We don't really care anymore. It's 2nd down and a whole bunch. Jones comes in motion from the visitor side to the home side. Nobis rolls towards the home side. He's got heat coming this way, and there's 2 of them, and he's going down back at the 15-yard line as the Bears offensive line, really for the first time tonight, just absolutely overpowered. That was 53 Max Weaver and 55 Kristen Colley for Liberty Center that was able to bust loose, and just like that, the Bears now was 2nd in a whole bunch with 5:26 to play in the half.
Bears really haven't done any straight drop back passes. They've all been rollouts, and I think Liberty Center's finally figuring out pretty quickly which way Nobis is going to roll. And that time they guessed correctly, rolling to his right, their left, and he had no chance on that one.
Bears have to go all the way to the 49-yard line. Football sitting right now on the 18-yard line, so you do the math this time. That's even too much for me. How's that?
It's a lot.
That's a whole bunch. 31. Nobis drops, looks, throws it in the flat. He's got Colt Arthur. It's complete. 30-yard line, and then there's a bunch of Liberty Tigers right there to knock him down right at the 30. But a nice completion to get a big chunk of that yards back, and it'll set up a 3rd down now, and still long, but it's not an unmanageable 3rd down. It was 2nd down and 31. It'll be 3rd down now at about 19. So the 12-yard pickup was a nice completion there by the Golden Bears. There were 2 receivers out there, Jim. I'm wondering if at some point in time tonight we're going to see a pitch back, you think?
It's possible. I mean, either that or one of the receivers is making a mistake.
Belt's the only running back. He's to the left of Zach Nobis. Triples over to the visitor side. That's the wide side, and Nobis will roll that way. His stop. He's got trouble in the backfield. That's Chambers, who got through Waldvogel, 43. Waldvogel not happy with himself. He had the initial push pretty well shut down by Chambers, but then Chambers went around him, and he was not able to maintain that block, and the loss goes all the way back to the 20-yard line, and the Bears are going to have to kick this thing away.
The loss of 10 on that play right there brings up 4th and 29, and the Bears will punt.
Morris and Like are the deep backs here for Liberty. Morris is on the home side at the 45-yard line of Liberty.
We'll see if the kick gets to the 1st down marker.
Jones with a big lick going over Like's head and going to take a Bryan bounce at the 30 into the side of the 28 and close to the 26-yard line.
Huge mistake right there by LC, not feeling. It's the 2nd time that's happened too. He's misjudged. I don't know if it's a planned execution that way, not catching it, but
yeah,
you'd think you'd want to just catch that, even if you just fair catch it.
He was, it was a good, solid 48-yard kick with no return. And again, Like watched it really kind of go over his head and allowed it to bounce. Maybe he didn't want to take any kind of chances with that football. It'll be 1st down and 10 now, Liberty Center, as they have the football on the 26-yard line, their own, with 3:21 to play here in this first half. A pair of running backs in the backfield, wing to the right. They turn the hand to Carpenter, and Carpenter has a hole to the right side, then gets tripped up after he crosses the 30 to about the 31-yard line. So give Zach Carpenter the better part of 5 yards on 1st down, and the clock will roll down to about 3 minutes here before Liberty gets another play in. Crew went to the sideline, came back in. And again, he'll have Like and Carpenter in the backfield. He'll turn, and he'll hand it actually Chambers, and Chambers will have the first down as he comes off right tackle, then cuts it to the middle of the football field, and he'll be at the 40-yard line before the Bears are able to tackle him. He got about 8 on that carry, and it'll be first down and 10 at the 40-yard line of Liberty. So the running game, Jim, is starting to click just a little bit here for Liberty Center.
Bears are going to get caught with the 12 men on the field here if they snap it quick.
And I think they
Well,
just maybe got him off the football field, but it didn't look like that. That was very close. I agree with you. That was Devontae Royster that was sprinting to the sideline. The handoff goes to Chambers. He'll get about a yard on that first down play, but I would agree with you, Jim.
He ran right past the official, too.
Yeah. And
He's been calling all of the offsides penalties against the Bears. So
He went sprinting, and the official was close enough to the sideline that maybe he gave him the benefit of the doubt. But, boy, I tell you, I was waiting for him to reach for that flag as well. Second down, gave him about 2 on first down. Chambers in motion, heading towards the visitor sideline. They'll turn and hand the football off to the big fella, Zach Carpenter. And Carpenter, again, cuts it right in off right guard, right tackle, and goes across the 45 to the 46-yard line. Short pickup. That will set up a third down now and about 4 for Liberty, with the clock rolling at 1:45 and counting. Liberty deferred in the first half, so they'll have the football to open up the third quarter. Carpenter, the only back down the backfield. Crew was going to drop straight back and look to throw. He's throwing into the flats to Chambers, and he's got him down here. Christian Chambers, the senior wide receiver running back, and the defensive back for the Bears actually had slipped and fallen down at the 40. So it was an easy throw and catch, but credit the quarterback for hanging in there and making that throw.
Bears coaches, I think, looking for a holding penalty right there as one of the D linemen got kind of pulled down by the neck of the jersey in the front there, Jim.
Ball will be set at the Bryan 45-yard line with 1:20 and counting. Fake the ball to Carpenter. Crew going to drop the throw. Now he's got heat coming, and he's going down. Bears all over the place. The first guy that got there was Matt Harold, and he was helped by Lucas Nye. And just like that, what was pretty good field position, and I think the Tigers thinking about having some pretty good things happening to them, all of a sudden that ball is going to be marked back in their territory across the 45 at the 46, and they'll take a timeout with 1:05 left to go in the half. We'll take one with them. Main stop scoreboard, Bears 3, Tigers nothing on the Golden Bear Sports Network.
As the baby boomer generation tires of traditional send-offs, funerals are becoming increasingly more personalized. People are pre-planning their own remembrance gathering. Pre-planning is easy and will pay off both emotionally and financially for you and your family. Plus allows you more control over your last hurrah. At Krill Funeral Service, we're not just funeral directors. We are experts at helping hearts heal.
1:05 left to go here in the first half of football as the Bears find themselves down 3-0. Or up 3-0. Sorry about that.
Let them have the lead when they have the lead.
Yeah, man, I'll tell you what, they're gonna drum me right out of the Golden Bears program here if I keep talking like that. Bears with a 3-0 lead on a 42-yard field goal by Jones on the very first possession of the night here for the Golden Bears. Since then, neither team able to score. Liberty with the football, second down and about 18 on their 47-yard line.
And they're down to one timeout. Remember, they had to burn one earlier in the first half.
Running back in the backfield, and they'll hand that ball to Carpenter, and Carpenter finds room right in the middle of the football field. He'll cross the 50, get into Bears territory at about the 48-yard line. Dylan Wagner with the tackle, and Liberty right at the line of scrimmage, ready to play some football. Crew drops, looks to throw. He's got his guy out in the flat. He'll complete the ball.
Well, short.
Short of the first down at the 39-yard line. Brendan Morris was the young guy that made the tackle. And the Liberty Tigers will take their final timeout with 31 seconds left to go here in the first half. It'll be fourth down and about 5 for Liberty as we step away. Bears on top 3-0 on the Golden Bear Sports Network.
Newcomer Schaefer, Spangler, and Breininger is a great group of experts with a common goal to serve the legal needs of this area with the greatest degree of integrity and excellence. Along with that, they respect and support the athletes in tonight's game for their determination and teamwork. An attorney's relationship with their client is like the one between a coach and their player, a position of trust. Newcomer Schaefer, Spangler, and Breininger are proud supporters of all the athletes and wish them continued success always.
This is my story. I'm a mother of 3, a wife, and a cat operator. I earned my degree in mechanical engineering technologies. Now I have a career doing exactly what I studied. I learned more, now I earn more.
Back here at Golden Bear Stadium as we're talking with our producer Eric Herman in the headsets right now. Been told on QCT there's been some liners running every now and then, and I'm hoping Big BB Murray will get that taken care of for us on his side between now and halftime. Good ball game so far tonight on the Golden Bear Sports Network. They put 3 seconds on the clock more than what it was there. 34 ticks now. 4th down and 5. Crew drops to throw. Here comes the Bears. Heat. Ball's thrown up the sideline and incomplete at the 32-yard line. And again, really nice coverage up there by Josh Jones and some real solid pressure coming from the middle of that football field that caused Crew to throw that ball away just a little bit earlier than what he wanted to. Well, this is interesting right now, Jim. You got the Bears with all 3 of their timeouts. The ball is at their 40-yard line, and Josh Jones has already hit a 42-yarder, a couple of first downs, and use your timeouts, and you might be able to get in a position here to make it 6-0 at least here before the half. Andrews is the wide receiver to the farthest point here on the visitor's sideline. Josh Jones goes in motion from the home sideline to the top, and Novus will keep the football and not really get any yards as he heads up the middle of the football field and is tackled right at the line of scrimmage. And again, it was 55, Kristen Colley, that made the tackle there for Liberty Center. And the Bears are going to be happy with a 3-point lead here at the halftime. So we've played 2 quarters here at Golden Bear Stadium, and the Golden Bears are on top on the main stop scoreboard 3-0 here on the Golden Bear Sports Network.
An insurance policy is essentially a promise to pay for covered losses that occur to your assets. At Andrews O'Neill & Lowe, we take this promise seriously, from the minute you accept a policy to the moment the loss occurs and beyond. That's why we place your auto, home, or business insurance with an experienced carrier like the Central Mutual Insurance Company. Our expertise, matched with Central's quality products and service, provide you protection, security, and peace of mind. Andrews O'Neill & Lowe is your local Central agent. Call us today at 419-636-5050.
You know, gathering with those we love, we get to catch up and we get to reflect on the past.
It seems like every time we get together, I always learn something new.
Here's the front page of the Columbus Dispatch when he won state baseball tournament, sliding into home plate.
Look at that, the front page. And that's a neat picture.
That was a great memory. I'll never forget that.
At Oberlin Turnbull Funeral Home, we understand that there are special memories that need to be remembered and shared.
Things are starting to settle down here at Bryan Ford Lincoln. After the fire, we had to rearrange everything. We brought in new offices for our staff. We reorganized our inventory to accommodate our new layout. Things are starting to feel a little more like home.
Morning, Jeff.
Maybe a little too comfortable. Bryan Ford Lincoln, great deals, great people, great experiences.
They say there is strength in numbers. In Bryan, we have always taken pride in supporting our Golden Bear student athletes in all of their sporting endeavors. The Bryan Athletic Boosters now have a chance for you to get into the game. If you're Bryan proud, it's time to become Bryan strong. Whether you were a BHS athlete, are raising a BHS athlete, or just love supporting our Bryan High School athlete, this is your chance to be part of the BHS sporting community. Talk to any board member today on how easy it is to join, or contact us at 419-636-4536.
This is my story. I'm a mother of 3, a wife, and a cat operator. I earned my degree in mechanical engineering technologies. Now I have a career doing exactly what I studied. I learned more, now I earn more.
We're back here on the Golden Bears Sports Network. Jim Funderburg along with Jim Bellamy here on a Friday night as we have three bands in the house tonight. Liberty's band performing right now. Then we have North Central's band coming after that. And the Golden Bears band will be our third band tonight. I guess maybe there's something special going on, and we'll do some checking whether we're going to have maybe all three bands or a couple of bands playing together tonight. I'm not really sure, but we'll do a little homework and find that out. Really good football game here in the first half, especially if you're a Bears fan. Bears basically, with their very first drive, had things moving pretty well. They got it down into Liberty territory, and on a fourth down, Josh Jones hit a 42-yard field goal in that opening drive with about 3 minutes off the clock, and that made it 3-0. And from that point on, the Bears' defense has been very solid. They've not allowed Liberty to bust any big plays. Liberty's done a pretty decent job of clipping off 5 yards here and 6 yards there and 3 yards over here and maybe 10 every now and then, but drives have stalled and they've not even gotten close to a point where they have an opportunity to score here in that first half. And the Bears again have put some offense together, but they've not been able to put any more points on the scoreboard here at Golden Bears Stadium. But either way you want to look at it, the Bears up 3-0 here at halftime and playing a pretty inspired senior night here, final night of the football season for the Golden Bears, and they're up 3-0 here in this final week number 10. This is really the playoff game for the Golden Bears if you want to look at it that way, and they are playing exactly like that. And I'm sure Coach Redhead, before he sent them out on the field tonight, said that same thing to them. You're not going to get a chance to play week number 11 tonight, but guess what? The guys we're playing tonight are going to play week number 11, so let's go out and act like this is our week number 11, and let's get out there and take it to them. And it's been a pretty good football game so far. I can tell you that Liberty's had a few penalties that stalled some drives down, had a couple of fumbles, one that they recovered and one that they lost that stalled a drive out too. And I'm sure Coach Rex Lindgren is going to be putting the fear of the Lord in his guys at halftime right now. Pretty good motivational speaker, and as Randy said today on my show this morning, knows how to get your attention, I think is the way that he phrased that. You know, old style football coach that has the ability to really rev up his guys and get the best out of them. He's done it for a long, long time, and this is his final NWOAL game here of his career tonight, and he will be retiring at the end of the season. And I'm sure he and the Liberty faithful hoping that maybe there's a week 11 and maybe even a week 12 or 13 in their future before he has to hang up the whistle and the cleats and walk off into retirement. But it'll be an interesting situation next year to see who does take over for the Tigers and what direction they will go in next year when Rex steps down and does finally retire. And it's a well-deserved retirement for the guy who's put in so many years and been so successful over at LC. We're at halftime here at Golden Bears Stadium. The Bears are up on the main stop scoreboard 3-0, and we're going to step away right now. When we come back, we'll have some stats with Jim Bellamy, and we'll get you ready for the Golden Bears band here. 15-15 here at halftime. Bears up 3-0 on the main stop scoreboard on the Golden Bears Sports Network.
At Krill Funeral Service, we are professionals with the sincere desire to reward every family who have placed their trust and confidence in us by being attentive to every detail, displaying the highest level of courtesy and compassion, and providing the greatest measure of respect for their wishes. As remembrance planners, our goal is to help families find joy in the way they choose to remember, honor, and celebrate the wonderful life of their loved one. Krill Funeral Service, we are experts at helping hearts heal.
If it's a home with character and space you dream of, then look no further. Misty King of Amerimaid Realty has a gorgeous home on Ohio Drive that's just waiting for you. With 4 spacious bedrooms, over 1,900 square feet, a renovated rustic interior, fenced yard, and open front porch, you can't go wrong. Listed for only $158, this is a home you have got to see. Call Misty King today at 419-633-4997 or check out 216 Ohio Drive on AmeramaidHomes.com. Amerimaid Realty, your hometown real estate pro.
You know, gathering with those we love, we get to catch up and we get to reflect on the past.
It seems like every time we get together, I always learn something new.
Here's the front page of the Columbus Dispatch when he won state baseball tournament, sliding into home plate.
Look at that, the front page, and that's a neat picture.
That was a great memory. I'll never forget that.
At Oberlin Turnbull Funeral Home, we understand that there are special memories that need to be remembered and shared.
Hey, you in the old silver car. Looks like you could use a new ride.
What?
At Darryl Shirkey Ford Lincoln, we can upgrade you to a nice pre-owned vehicle or a new Ford or Lincoln.
How are you doing this?
We have a huge selection of vehicles, and with our aggressive pricing policy, we make them very affordable.
This is pretty aggressive. I don't think a billboard's ever tried to sell me a car before.
Come and see why we are the fastest growing dealership in Northwest Ohio. Hey, you in the white pickup.
Newcomer Schaefer, Spangler, and Breininger is a great group of experts with a common goal: to serve the legal needs of this area with the greatest degree of integrity and excellence. Along with that, they respect and support the athletes in tonight's game for their determination and teamwork. An attorney's relationship with their client is like the one between a coach and their player, a position of trust. Newcomers Schaefer, Spangler, and Breininger are proud supporters of all the athletes and wish them continued success always.
Things are starting to settle down here at Bryan Ford Lincoln. After the fire, we had to rearrange everything. We brought in new offices for our staff. We reorganized our inventory to accommodate our new layout. Things are starting to feel a little more like home.
Morning, Chip.
Maybe a little too comfortable. Bryan Ford Lincoln, great deals, great people, great experiences.
An insurance policy is essentially a promise to pay for covered losses that occur to your assets. At Andrews O'Neill & Lowe, we take this promise seriously, from the minute you accept the policy to the moment the loss occurs and beyond. That's why we place your auto, home, or business insurance with an experienced carrier like the Central Mutual Insurance Company. Our expertise, matched with Central's quality products and service, provide you protection, security, and peace of mind. Andrews O'Neill & Lowe is your local Central agent. Call us today at 419-636-5050.
This is my story. I'm a mother of 3, a wife, and a cat operator. I earned my degree in mechanical engineering technologies. Now I have a career doing exactly what I studied. I learned more, now I earn more.
This thing, and then we'll go to the Bryan Band. And we're back here at Golden Bear Stadium as you hear a little conversation between me and Mr. Herman. And Eric Herman's going to bring you some halftime scores from around the area. Big E, what's it look like out there? I do, man. I can hear you. PH 35-0 at half. That didn't surprise me at all. Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Eagle Marching Band and Jason Murillo are going to make sure that you know, yet the drums they swing low, and the trumpets they go.
Fairview is a team that we will pick up next year, no doubt, along with Toledo Woodward this next year. No more Tiffin Columbian, and unfortunately no more Napoleon for at least a few years here. So, yeah, Fairview and Toledo Woodward, the two teams that will come onto the schedule next year for at least a couple of years. E, anything out there for Montpelier? Do you see anything on the locomotives right now? So that's a big game for Montpelier, because if the Locos win tonight, they've got a good shot of making it into the playoffs. Now, the bad news is they're going to pick up a game against a team like Patrick Henry potentially, or the way that things shake out, they could even end up with a Liberty. But they need to win tonight. If they don't win tonight, then their playoff hopes are dashed and they will not get in, and that'll make it a little tough on those guys. So Well, there you go. So we'll keep an eye on that here as the North Central Band is performing right now. Why don't we step away, and when we come back, it'll be time for the Golden Bears Band. And Jim Bellamy, before we end the halftime, will have some halftime stats for us here. Bears are on top on the main stop scoreboard 3-0 here on the Golden Bears Sports Network.
At Creel Funeral Service, we are professionals with the sincere desire to reward every family who have placed their trust and confidence in us by being attentive to every detail, displaying the highest level of courtesy and compassion, and providing the greatest measure of respect for their wishes. As remembrance planners, our goal is to help families find joy in the way they choose to remember, honor, and celebrate the wonderful life of their loved one. Creel Funeral Service, we are experts at helping hearts heal.
Looking for a home in the Eden School District? Then you've got to check out AmeriMade Realty's listing at 507 Madison Street in Blakesley. This 3-bedroom home has been completely renovated and is much bigger than it appears. With over 1,800 square feet, it has a large family room with stone fireplace, large open kitchen, and formal dining. It also offers a double lot, a massive garage, and a deck for entertaining. Phone Misty King of AmeriMade Realty at 419-633-4997 or go to AmeriMadeHomes.com. AmeriMade Realty, your hometown real estate pro.
Hey, you in the old silver car. Looks like you could use a new ride.
What?
At Darryl Shirkey Ford Lincoln, we can upgrade you to a nice pre-owned vehicle or a new Ford or Lincoln.
How are you doing this?
We have a huge selection of vehicles, and with our aggressive pricing policy, we make them very affordable.
This is pretty aggressive. I don't think a billboard's ever tried to sell me a car before.
Come and see why we are the fastest growing dealership in Northwest Ohio. Hey, you in the white pickup.
Newcomer Schaefer, Spangler, and Breininger is a great group of experts with a common goal: to serve the legal needs of this area with the greatest degree of integrity and excellence. Along with that, they respect and support the athletes in tonight's game for their determination and teamwork. An attorney's relationship with their client is like the one between a coach and their player, a position of trust. Newcomer Schaefer, Spangler, and Breininger are proud supporters of all the athletes and wish them continued success always.
We're at halftime here at Bryan, and we have the pleasure of having the North Central Band here with us tonight. So why don't we go down on the field, catch the end of their program, and also the Golden Bears Band program tonight. It's Bears 3, Tigers nothing on the Golden Bears Sports Network.
group's most successful songs. The song was used heavily in the first Shrek movie and the movie Mystery Men, with the video featuring a number of actors from that movie. Most recently, a backwards version of this song has become popular too. Gold is glitter that all, and here is the combined forces of the North Central Marching Band and the Bryan High School Marching Band as they perform Smash Mouth's All-Star with North Central soloist Dana Lashaw and Bryan soloist Eric Gendron. Staff assistants are Ben Camarillo and Larry Schaefer, with senior field commanders Chuck Vargas and Olivia Lee. The marching band provided Tom Nick Riley of the Liberty Center Marching Band, along with Ruthie and the North Central Marching Band, on the performances this evening. And thank everyone for their applause. We should have a safe drive home and a great weekend. Good night and go Bears!
We get to catch up and we get to reflect on the past.
It seems like every time we get together, I always learn something new.
Here's the front page of the Columbus Dispatch when he won state baseball tournament, sliding into home plate.
Look at that, the front page. And that's a neat picture.
That was a great memory. I'll never forget that.
At Oberlin Turnbull Funeral Home, we understand that there are special memories that need to be remembered and shared.
This is my story. I'm a mother of 3, a wife, and a cat operator. I earned my degree in mechanical engineering technologies. Now I have a career doing exactly what I studied. I learned more, now I earn more.
Back here at Golden Bear Stadium, Jim Bellamy and Jim Funderburg. And Jim, why don't we go over some halftime stats?
All right, for the Golden Bears, who lead 3-0 at the half, Miller is 1 for 1 with 6 yards through the air, also 31 yards on the ground. Nobis is 4 of 12 through the air for 66 yards. Also, after the quarterback sacks, only netted 1 yard on the ground. On the ground also for the Bears, Waldvogel had carry for -3 yards. And Nobis had 1 yard on the ground as well. Not a whole lot going on the ground. Nate Miller did have, like I mentioned, 31 rushing yards. So only... 29 net rushing yards, 72 net passing yards for the Bears approximately, and 72 yards through the air as well. Those came, Brian Andrews 25 yards through the air, Josh Jones had a 6-yard reception, and Cole Arthur had 41 yards through the air on 2 catches. For Liberty Center, Jarrett Crew 3 of 9 for 33 yards through the air. Austin Like had 51 yards on the ground plus 10 through the air. Carpenter 80 yards on the ground as the Bears did a decent job containing, but he still broke off some decent runs, especially up the middle. And Christian Chambers 11 yards on the ground and 15 through the air. So not a whole lot of offense for either team really. Field position game. on both sides. And Jim, I really have to say it. Special teams has been the difference, and that's kind of a no-dust statement when you think of the only scoring coming on a 42-yard field goal. But it's the inability for Liberty Center to catch the punt returns. It seems like such a basic thing. But a couple times now, they've misjudged the distance, and it's cost them 10, 15 yards on the carom both times. And it's a situation that as they look at next week getting into the playoffs, they're going to have to tidy up that special teams play, because special teams, field position, all that, especially as the weather, it's not going to continue to be this warm out. It's going to get colder. The ball's going to get harder to catch. You're going to have to try to secure those, even if you call for fair catches on the punts. You're going to have to secure those to avoid giving up 15, 20 yards in field position at the end of every play.
I'll tell you what, you want to know what the coaching staff for Liberty thinks. They're down running some offense right now. Most teams come out, stretch, maybe run a little bit. They've got their offense and defense on the field right now, and they are trying to get some things straightened out because they had some procedure calls early that cost them some opportunities, and then they also had a situation where they had a couple of fumbles, one that they lost that kind of slowed some things down as well. Jimmy, we've got some folks to say thank you to tonight. Our sponsors here this evening. You want to read those for me?
I want to thank Oberlin Turnbull, Bryan Ford, the Bryan Athletic Boosters, Northwest State Community College, Andrews O'Neill and Lowe, Krill Funeral Home and Crematory, our Merrimaid Realty, Darrell Shirkey Ford, and Newcomer Schaefer Spangler and Breininger in Bryan. I want to thank all those sponsors for bringing you the Golden Bears football throughout this 10-game season. We appreciate your support and, of course, the support of everybody listening and watching when they watch on Saturday night or later.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt about that. Folks listening to 96.5 FM, the Q tonight, I've been told that there's been a station ID that's been popping up at random every now and then. Hopefully we've got that taken care of for you tonight. If not, we apologize for that in advance. For the folks out on BryanSports.com, obviously, as well, just great things. Mr. Herman's got it all taken care of, and anybody that wants to watch the ball game tomorrow night, 7 o'clock on BMU Channel 3. Bears kicking this thing away. Jones gets a foot in it. He drives it all the way back to the 5-yard line. I believe that is Like that picked it up there, out to the 20, 25, 35, and about to the 37-yard line. We'll have to catch a number as he gets up off there.
Zane Peterson, number 25, Jim.
Yep, there you go.
5'7" senior with a good return right there to give really good starting field position for the Tigers. And let's see if they're able to get that running game in gear again, as the Bears did just enough. That, again, bend but don't break, like we said.
So it'll be 1st and 10. Liberty Center will have the football as they open up the third quarter here. And again, the two running backs in the backfield, they'll hand it to the second one, and that's Chambers. And Chambers is able to fight his way across the 40-yard line to about the 41. There were Bears there. He went right behind his big running back, Zach Carpenter, who was the lead blocker that time. And cut it off right tackle, was able to pick up almost 4 yards on that first down carry. So we're underway here, third quarter. And the Bears lead 3-0. And I would think for Coach Redhead and his guys, they'd like to get the Tigers off the field as quickly as they can. Two backs in the backfield, they'll turn and hand it to Carpenter. Carpenter makes a little cut there at the line of scrimmage and leaps forward. And he dives across the 45-yard line. He'll get another 3 or so, and it'll set up a third down at about 2 for the Liberty Center Tigers here at the 45-yard line of Liberty.
Got him where the knee was down, as that ball actually stretched to about the 41 and a half, but they got him where the knee was down back at, the 46 now, but they got him back at the 45.
So the 45-yard line is the line of scrimmage, and they'll turn and hand the ball off a delay
knifing through, Jim.
To 34 again, Carpenter, and the Bears able to get in. And I'll tell you what, I'll give that one to Lucas Nye.
Defense staying on the field.
Nye has absolutely played a wonderful year of football for this team. It cost them about a yard there on the run. It'll set up a third down and a good solid 3. The ball's inside the 45. Call it 4. I'm sorry, 4th down and about 4. And they're going to go for it. Liberty moved. Chambers moved up on the left wing.
No, I don't think there's any question you're going to have to kick it.
And that 4th down becomes not 4th down and 4 anymore. It becomes 4th down at about 9, and the punt team does come on.
Yep. Situation changes.
Chambers was set up on the wing, up on the visitor's sideline. And the next thing you know, he just kind of rocked forward, lost his balance a little bit, and that was all it took.
What do you make of the decision to go for it right there?
What's that?
What do you make of the decision to go for it?
I don't mind that. You know, you get a football team that needs some sort of spark tonight. Waldvogel back to punt, and this is a horrible punt. Waldvogel was back on the 25-yard line. This kick will not even make the Bryan 40-yard line. In fact, it does, and barely crawls across the 40 to the 39-yard line. It'll be first down and 10. And the Bears have the football on their own 39-yard line after just a miserable punt. Add them all together, and it's about 22 yards for my liking there, Jim. It was on the 39, so.
That looks like one of my drives.
Yeah, really. 11 yards to the 50 and 11 yards going the other direction. That adds to 22, I believe. At least it used to in old math. Now there's new math involved now, so that may not be the same thing. Jones is the single wide receiver up on the visitor side, and he's going to stay there. Doubles here on the bottom side. Nobis drops, and he'll throw to Jones up at the top of the screen. Jones has the ball, breaks the tackle. He's into Liberty territory at the 49-yard line. And he took a licking up there. First guy got him pretty good, and then he got piled on with a couple more that came over just to help. And Josh Jones gets up a little gingerly, but he's okay, I think, heading back toward the sideline. In fact, what are the officials talking about right now up on that 49-yard line?
Flag down there too, big guy?
That's what I'm looking for. Personal foul, late hit. Yep, there you go. I was wondering about that. It seemed like it got piled on kind of late. I didn't see the flag up at the top of the football field, but then the officials got together and started talking, and that personal foul will move the football inside the 35-yard line of Liberty after a nice catch and completion. And the Bears, in their first drive here in the third quarter, have things going on.
27 yards really on one play, 12 through the air and 15 on the penalty.
Belts is the running back to the left of Novus, who is in the pistol look right now. There's doubles on the home side, a single to the top. Liberty jumped off sides. Boy, I'll tell you what, it just has been a rough night for the Tigers tonight. They've just been out of whack. Offsides, Liberty, and it's going to go on 55, Kristen Colley. And Colley has played a pretty good football game tonight. Made some big hits, big tackles. That time got just a little bit anxious, and again, rocked out of his stance, across the line of scrimmage, and then tried to reload. But by that time, there was laundry on the football field, and it's first down and 5 now.
We're getting a little antsy, and again, this is the 10th week of football, so it's tough to maintain that much focus over a 2.5-month period of time.
Belts to the left of Novus, who drops. He's got heat coming. Chambers, he got rid of it, and that's to Andrews. It hit him right in the hands in the end zone. I didn't think he saw it coming. Good coverage back there by the Liberty Tigers back around the goal line. And I think just as Andrews made the step into the end zone and he got clear of the defender who was in front of him, that ball hit him right on the hands. It was an amazing situation, and I believe that was like in coverage back there at the goal line.
And he definitely had me fooled on that pattern right there too, because I mean, usually your eyes get pretty big and your hands are reaching out pretty early, but he waited to the last possible second to reach out for that ball. So
man-to-man coverage all the way on that post pattern heading to the end zone. And at the goal line, he got a step, Andrews did, and the ball was right on the money. Nova's going to throw again into the flat. Jones has it, 22, breaks a tackle up the sideline, down to the 10. Nice job of pitching and catching. It was second down and 5. Bears pick up the first down and almost the touchdown as Jones was able to break the tackle and run up the sideline to the 12 before they mark him down. So the Bears have a first down and 10 at the 9:04 mark here in the third quarter. Nice job by Jones to be able to pull that in. Tackler really went for that solid tackle, but Jones, with a nice spin move, was able to spin out of that.
Second time. He also made the same move on the penalty play.
Jones now will come in motion from the visitor side to the home side. 2 wide receivers in front of us. Nobis will roll that way. Here comes pressure from that side. It's Chambers. Nobis will run back the other way and find a lot of trouble at about the 15-yard line, and he'll be dropped down for a couple-of-yard loss. And just like that, I think, Jimmy, you made the comment there. They know that Nobis likes to roll to that left. Chambers playing on that left linebacker spot is making that step into the backfield and then chasing. And Nobis saw him that time, reversed his field, was heading the other direction, but there were just way too many white shirts. He lost about 3 on that first down play. It'll be second down at about 13.
And the unfortunate thing about that, Jim, is the running backs have done an excellent job chipping and throwing in blitz support. So you know, they've done a good job holding up the line. Why not just drop straight back and step into the pocket?
Here comes the rush. Nobis throws. He hits at his throw, and this one will be long out of the end zone back in the left corner. He was heading towards Colt Arthur. Just ran out of room back in the left corner as he threw that away under a huge amount of pressure, and he got really leveled as he let go of that football. And he's talking right at this point in time. They're talking quarterback and tight end out there talking to some linemen.
Give me a little more time, basically, is what he's asking.
Yep, need a little more time to be able to throw that football.
But again, the offensive line for the Bears has done a really good job tonight holding up.
Adam Harrell, the tight end, was making the plea there to a couple of the guys standing next to him. Bears will send 2 to the home side, a single receiver. That's Jones to the visitor side, the short side of the field. Belts in the backfield. Nobis throws across the middle, and it was broken up. And a nice job again by Like, who stepped in. That one came close to being an interception, Jim. He saw that one coming all the way. Just a little pattern to the middle of the football field. And that was a 4th down play. It was 4th down and this will be 4th down. That was 3rd down and 13. This will be 4th down now. And Jones from just about the other sideline, the other
32.
Yeah, he's at the 22 now. This will be a 32-yarder from the hash mark on the visitor side. It was a 42 from the hash mark on the home side. They hit here early, but heading in the same direction, going from right to left on your radio dial. The snap is good. The kick is very low, but straight down the middle, and it got over that crossbar, and the Bears, with 2 Josh Jones field goals, now take a 6-0 lead here on the Golden Bear Sports Network.
Things are starting to settle down here at Bryan Ford Lincoln. After the fire, we had to rearrange everything. We brought in new offices for our staff. We reorganized our inventory to accommodate our new layout. Things are starting to feel a little more like home.
Morning, Jeff.
Maybe a little too comfortable. Bryan Ford Lincoln, great deals, great people, great experiences.
In Bryan, we have always taken pride in supporting our Golden Bear student athletes in all of their sporting endeavors. The Bryan Athletic Boosters now have a chance for you to get into the game. If you're Bryan proud, it's time to become Bryan strong. Whether you were a BHS athlete, are raising a BHS athlete, or just love supporting our Bryan High School athlete, this is your chance to be part of the BHS sporting community. Talk to any board member today on how easy it is to join, or contact us at 419-636-4536.
This is my story. I'm a mother of 3, a wife, and a CAD operator. I earned my degree in mechanical engineering technologies. Now I have a career doing exactly what I studied. I learned more, now I earn more.
Josh Jones comes out, and boy, I'll tell you what, he is amped up, Jim. He kicked that one over everybody's head into the end zone, so the touchback will bring the football back out to the 20-yard line. Josh Jones has been the only offense here tonight, a 22-yarder and a 32-yarder, or a 32-yarder and a 42-yarder. I'm sorry, add 10 to that.
Also had 30 yards through the air on that last possession, Jim, plus the 15 on the penalty.
Liberty comes out again with those 2 backs in the backfield. They handled the second one. They'll sweep around the left sideline, and he's got nice room up across the 30 to about the 32-yard line. Goes northwest. I've been waiting on that name all night long, man. I'll tell you what, if your last name was West, I think one of my kids would be North and one would be East and one would be South, I believe. You know what I mean? And they would all curse me for their entire lives and spit every time they saw me. How's that, huh?
Yeah.
So Northwest picks up about 11 on down number 1, and it's first down now and 10 for the Liberty Tigers.
Be your fault because you named them.
Exactly. Counter plays going nowhere as there's Bears all over the place. Wagner was the first guy in to make the stop. Carpenter with the run, he'll get about a yard as they met him pretty much at the line of scrimmage. Big fella just doesn't go backwards when you hit him, though, Jim. A guy like that, he's got his shoulder pads down and he's running forward, and he's going to get that yard no matter how hard you hit him. Single back in the backfield as West goes in motion. They'll hand him again the jet sweep. He's going to try to turn that left corner, and he's going nowhere. This time it's Lucas Nye again, and you know what? I've bragged about Lucas Nye. Coach bragged about him the other night in the pregame show, and he has just had a spectacular senior year. I wish that young guy was just a junior. as this team grows up, maybe next year, it'd be good to have a leader like that back on this football field. But Lucas just had a real good football season. Pickups about a yard. It'll set up 3rd down now and 8. Clock's under 7 minutes here in the 3rd quarter. Again, 2 backs in the backfield. They'll hand it to the second guy, and he's got room. That's Chambers. Chambers finds a wide open hole. I think everybody thought it was going to go to the other guy, and he's out to the 50-yard line. He'll have the 1st down, and he's actually into Bryan territory at the 49-yard line. I think everybody was waiting for Crew to turn that ball over to Zach Carpenter. Instead, he gave it to Christian Chambers, and Chambers had a big gaping hole in the left side. West sweep left side, room 45-yard line. Bears tumbles into about the 43-yard line and close to the out-of-bound marker over on the Liberty sideline. He gets about 6, 2nd down and 4. And they're really going back to their power game right now, Jim.
Yep. Last drive, Jim, they only had 2 net yards after the penalties and the 1 rush for -1. So obviously looking for a lot more in this drive by the Tigers.
Carpenter, the only back in the backfield, wings on both sides. The quarterback keeper, and that's going to be enough for the 1st down as Crew goes forward across the 40, close to about the 37-yard line. That's the first time we've seen that one tonight, as Crew had everybody moving. He had his left wing moving in motion behind him. And he just took that football and followed the center right up the football field for the 1st down. Ball sitting on the Bryan 37 now, 1st down and 10.
Credit Nobis for doing that in the previous drive, Jim, seeing what the defense gave, and he had a nice hole right up the middle.
Carpenter again, the only back in the backfield. They'll hand it to the big guy, but the Bears are right there. Go low, wrap him up. Number 4 again, along with Farrell. Lucas Nye was the first guy, and then Farrell right there to help him out. They'll give him a yard, and anytime you can keep Zach Carpenter to a 1-yard pickup, you feel like you won the war.
And tremendous technique right there too, Jim. How do you take on a big guy? You square your shoulders, you go right at the waist. And he got low, got the legs, drove on the waist.
They hand the ball to West. West will follow everybody around that left end, but he's going to have a short pickup as he'll get to the 35-yard line. Sweep left. Bears there, saw it coming, cut it down. And again, Farrell, and again, number 4, Lucas Nye.
That's 2 straight good stops for Nye. Good technique. Going lateral as well as driving straight ahead with the shoulders squared.
Farrell playing that right end spot. Nye playing the outside linebacker spot on that right side. Maybe they're going to start running the opposite direction. They'll go straight up the middle to Carpenter, and Carpenter is just going to bull his way close to the 31. That'll be short of the 1st down. It'll pick up about 4, and it'll set up a 4th down and about 4 as they have to get to the 27 and a half, let's say. So about 3.5 yards on this thing.
I was going to say, if you have any doubt what they're going to do, they went for it on the previous drive, or they're showing it.
They're coming at you
the
again.
other side of the field, so they're going for it here.
Weston Carpenter, the backs in the backfield, a wing back on the left side. Quarterback under center. They hand it to their big fella, and he's going to be short, I believe. I don't think the Bears are going to let him get there.
Well,
Zach
close.
Carpenter went off of left guard and tackle, and he had purple jerseys and shirts all over the place, and they submarined him, allowed him to have a couple of yards, but not all the yards they needed, and the ball will come over on downs. Credit Connor Ford and Frankie Hartsock, 2 of the guys in the interior of that line, kind of boxing everything up, and then the pack just came like a bunch of sharks after Carpenter, and he went down about a yard short, and the Bears will have the football on the Golden Bear 28-yard line.
So a 4-minute drive, and that's nothing. Yardage-wise, have to be happy, but you can't be happy with that 4th down conversion.
Nobis has Belts to his left in the backfield, a pair of receivers here on the home side, and he's going to throw that direction. Got one to the inside, but it's Colt Arthur, but the ball thrown a little bit low, and Arthur picked it up on the skip out around the 30.
And again, even with that diving catch, even if he makes it, he gets a yard and a half.
That's about it. So
not a whole lot there.
He had some cushion right there. If that ball would have been put on the money, Arthur might have been able to make a move and spin and get a little yardage. It was one-on-one coverage out in the flat. But unfortunately, that ball came a little bit low. Kind of looked like the way I'd probably would throw that pass, Jim.
Well, if you're running an out pattern like that and you're having to look over your inside shoulder, you're having to basically stop and then turn your body upfield to run. So It's not the pattern that's going to get you a lot of yards unless you're able to cut it up.
Jones comes in motion from the visitor side to the home side. They'll roll that direction and throw out in the flat. Same kind of pattern this time for a few more yards as Arthur will make the catch at the 35, step out of bounds. Colt Arthur gets about 6 on that completion, and clock running at 3:40 here as he actually went down on a knee before he slid out of bounds, and this clock keeps moving with 3:33 to play here in the third quarter. Third down and about 3 for the Bears.
A good 7 on that one right there.
Nobis again has belts to his left. He's got Jones all by himself on the visitor side and a pair of receivers here on the home side. Now he'll send Arthur in motion towards the visitor side, and Nobis calls his own number. He'll run around that left end. Will he be there? He's going to be close.
Yep, I think he's got it.
Going to depend on where they spot him.
First down.
In fact, you know what? That was Miller. That was Nobis again, 18.
Yep, you got to look at the legs.
You got to look at the legs. You're right, and I did that because that number every now and then when he turns over, that 8 looks an awful lot like a 10. And when he bent over just a bit, it looked like that. And then I said, "What Bellamy tell me? Up, down the legs? Nope, that's 18."
Yep. It's the
fancy shoes and leggings.
Yep. I don't know what they're called. I apologize. I'm sure they're not called leggings on a guy, but there you go.
First down and 10.
Never gonna hear the end of that, I'm sure.
Yeah, well, you got a couple of daughters around your house. We'll forgive you for that one. Completion to Jones at the 45-yard line. Jones with the catch on the out. And I'll tell you what, I think the Bears have found something right now. That little 5 to 7 yard out. The Liberty Tigers are playing off just far enough that you can go out, make your little fake, cut to the sideline, and that ball right on the money sets up a second down. They'll give him 6+, make it second down at about 4, actually. 2 receivers head to the top on the visitor's side. Single receiver right in front of us again, Jones, and he'll go in motion, and they'll hand Jones the ball this time. Sweep, right end, no place to go, as the defense really right there just waiting on everything. And I believe that was 28 Caleb Carpenter that made that tackle for no gain. That sweep really just had no place to go. The blocking up on that backside was not very good. Jones was waiting to see a hole, and he kind of stuttered and slowed down just a little bit. And at that point in time, Carpenter came up, made the tackle right at the line of scrimmage.
If you're running a jet sweep, the absolute last thing you can afford to have as an offense is to see a couple of defensive linemen pass that line of scrimmage in pursuit. It means you're going to have to run it backwards, which usually means you have no shot.
Triples here on the home side. Here comes the blitz, picked up in the middle of the field. Nova's going to run around that right end. We've got Laundry in the backfield. Novas gets thumped as he crosses the 45-yard line and goes out of bounds. I believe we'll have a holding call in the backfield on the Bears.
I think I'd decline it if I were Liberty Center because it's going to bring up a 4th and about 5 here.
So it'll be an interesting call right now for Coach Lundgren, but I would believe that you're probably right, Jim. The only other thing you might play for is field position. If you roll them back 10 yards.
I already saw him signal decline. We'll see.
Declined. Yes, you're right.
So it goes as a...
Well, here's an interesting call for you, big guy.
Oh, you're up, no question you kick.
You're up 6-0. Okay, you're bringing the punt team in. We faked the very first punt of the night. You need about 4 yards. You've got to get to the 49-yard line. I don't think you fake one here, and it looks like Liberty's going to keep an awful lot of folks around that line of scrimmage to make sure that doesn't happen.
Mm-hmm. But again, special teams has kind of been an Achilles heel for the Tigers so far.
Double safeties back waiting for this punt. Jones will kick it. Nice, high, booming, long kick. Goes over everybody's head. Hits like in the numbers at the 12, and he'll be knocked down at the 14. I'll tell you what, Like
bizarre.
Yeah, did not want that football. It went over the up guy's head. Like was kind of behind him. It skipped kind of into his pads, and he really didn't want any part of that football, but he had no choice at that point in time. Had to try to find the handle on it. Picked it up, advanced it about a yard. The Bears were right there to knock him down. It'll be first down and 10. Liberty at the 15-yard line, their own. 1:08 to play here, third quarter. Bears up 6-0 on the main stop scoreboard if you just tuned us in.
Never seen anything like that where a player, an up man, will call for a fair catch and let the ball go over his head.
Carpenter sweeps left side. He has room around the left end. He's across the 20, and he'll be knocked down right at the 20-yard line. It'll be a pickup of about 4. And in fact, they're going to say right at 5 because they started at the 15 and they will mark it right at the 20. So that's 5.
About 45 seconds left to play in quarter number 3 as LC trails 6-0 to the Golden Bears.
Bears defense played pretty well tonight. 2 running backs in the backfield now. And the quarterback sneak. And I'll tell you what, that's the second time they've run it, and they've run it extremely well as Crew will get the first down. As he just follows that interior of that line, Bears looking for where that ball is going to go, and before you have you can find it, Jarrett Crew is up the football field for about 6. Give him 7 as they spot it at the 27, and it will be first down and 10 with the clock under 25 seconds here in the third quarter.
Probably time for one more play here in this third quarter, barring a penalty or an incomplete pass.
Crew under center, a pair of running backs in the backfield, 1 wing back to the left. Crew's going to drop and throw across the middle. He's got a guy wide open. That's Chambers. He's in Bears territory at the 30. Breaks the tackle at the 25, and he's down to the 20-yard line. Chambers somehow on the little fake got behind everybody in the backfield, and that's the biggest problem that the Bears have had all year long, having some of their defensive backs watching what's going on in the backfield, not paying attention to the guys that are coming at them, and allowing them to get behind them, and that's exactly what they did in Chambers. With just 3.3 seconds left to go in this quarter, advances that football all the way down to the 20-yard line of the Golden Bears. It will be first and 10, and that's going to run out the clock. They're going to let it roll all the way down to nothing. 3 quarters in the book. Bears up 6-0, but Liberty is driving here on the Golden Bear Sports Network.
Andrews O'Neill & Lowe is committed to providing you the best value for your insurance dollar. We are an agency built on integrity, offering personal service and sound advice you can trust. That's why we partner with experienced carriers like the Central Mutual Insurance Company for your auto, home, or business insurance needs. Central's quality insurance products are reasonably priced and backed by prompt, professional service, providing value for your peace of mind. Andrews O'Neill & Lowe is your local Central agent. Call us today at 419-636-5050.
At Krill Funeral Service, we are professionals with the sincere desire to reward every family who have placed their trust and confidence in us by being attentive to every detail, displaying the highest level of courtesy and compassion, and providing the greatest measure of respect for their wishes. As remembrance planners, our goal is to help families find joy in the way they choose to remember, honor, and celebrate the wonderful life of their loved one. Krill Funeral Service, we are experts at helping hearts heal.
Well, we have 12 minutes of football to play, and that fella right there, his blood pressure just went up about 14 to 45 points. Okay.
That's quite a range.
Yep, I'd say, well, I don't have the cuff on him right now. I'd say it's closer to 45. Okay. He is not a happy guy, but he's encouraging his guys to play some football yet. As Jared Crew brings his Tigers to the other end. He'll turn, hand the football off to West. West will sweep the left corner. He'll be inside the 20, close to the 17-yard line before the Bears knock him down. Devontae Royster, the first guy to make the tackle, along with Farrell. And the Bears defense now is going to be asked to keep the Tigers out of the end zone. Second down, they gave him 3. Second down and 7 as we're just underway in the fourth quarter.
You've been calling Farrell's name a lot. He's definitely held up the right end of the line.
2 guys in the backfield. Crew fakes and drops the throw. Now he's got some heat coming. He's going to throw it out in the flank, and he's got his guy. That's Chambers at the 10, the 5, and he's going in the end zone. Just like that, 17 yards. Bears had some heat coming. They didn't get there in time, and the guys that brought the heat allowed the flat to be open, and Chambers able to catch that little screen pass down around the 10-yard line. With that, he just turned on the motors there and headed towards the end zone. And just like that, it's 6-6 with the extra point on its way. Big extra point coming right here to break the tie. Still 11-17 to play, though. A lot of football left to go, and the Bears have shown they can move the ball against this Liberty Center defense, at least enough to get into field goal range. Snap is low, placement is good, kick is right through the uprights, and just like that, for the first time tonight, the Tigers are on top 7-6 with 11-17 to play here on the Golden Bear Sports Network.
Hey, you in the old silver car. Looks like you could use a new ride.
What?
At Darrow Shirkey Ford Lincoln, we can upgrade you to a nice pre-owned vehicle or a new Ford or Lincoln.
How are you doing this?
We have a huge selection of vehicles, and with our aggressive pricing policy, we make them very affordable.
This is pretty aggressive. I don't think a billboard's ever tried to sell me a car before.
Come and see why we are the fastest growing dealership in Northwest Ohio. Hey, you in the white pickup.
Back here at Golden Bear Stadium, Jim and Jim on a Friday night. And Jim, I'll tell you what, that a very impressive drive, but that one big strike really was the difference, as the Bears have done a nice job, but that one big pass play set everything up, and then Chambers with a 17-yard catch and run, and just like that, it's 7-6 here. The Bears find themselves down by a point.
Chambers accounted for 70 yards on that drive, 53 on the big pass play prior to the end of the third quarter that set him up in the red zone, and then 17 on the touchdown right there. So 2 catches for 70 yards on the drive. Definitely pads the stats also for Jared Crew as the Liberty Center Tigers take a 1-point lead.
Bryson Andrews and Josh Jones, and Jones will be the young man that catches it on the home side at the 10, cuts it to the middle of the football field, and he'll be dropped down at about the 21-yard line. Tell you another number that we have called all night long, and that is 55, Kristen Colley, as Colley makes the tackle on the kick. Bears will have the football on the 21, I believe. Let's see where they're going to set it down. Actually give it about the 20.5. Clock stopped at 11:10 to play here in the ball game, and the Bears with the offense on the field, an opportunity now to hopefully put a drive together and go back on top. They've been leading all night long up until that touchdown. They'll send Jones to the visitor side wide.
They've succeeded through the air.
Doubles here on the bottom, single running back in the backfield. We're in the pistol. They're going to throw that ball again out on the flat. That's Colt Arthur, and Arthur gets spun around and dropped at the 30-yard line. But again, a nice pickup on first down. He'll get about 7 on that one, and it'll set up a second down and short for the Golden Bears. In fact, give him 8.
9, yeah.
Yeah, 9. Yeah, you're right. As they set it right on the 30-yard line.
If they're going to give you those intermediate routes, take them.
Take them all night long. That's
Yep.
what, Coach said, that they had seen some things that they thought they could do tonight, and they have been very successful with that. Nothing flashy, no touchdowns so far tonight, but it has been a pretty good football game. Pistol look again for the Golden Bears. They'll throw it to the top. It's completed to Arthur again, and Arthur reaches that football out as he's being tackled. I'm not sure how close he's going to be to that first down, but he will be close.
Much, yeah. They didn't get much on that one. I think you're still looking at 3rd and 1 here.
He was actually behind the 30-yard line when he started to reach that thing out.
They gave him no gain right there.
And it'll set up 3rd down, about a yard here for the Bears. 10 minutes exactly to play in the football game. Nobis comes off the sideline after talking to Coach Redhead. Actually, it's 3rd down. They really did mark it ahead of the 30, so about 3rd down, about a half a yard here for the Bears, actually, when you look at where it actually was spotted.
Yep.
Again, that single back in the backfield. Nobis in the pistol. He's going to take it, and he's going to run forward. Got both hands on the football. Has the first down as he crosses the 32. He'll be up to close to the 33-yard line. They'll get 3. They needed about a half a yard, and it's 1st down and 10.
Still boggles the mind sometimes you think about it, where it's 3rd and a football.
Yeah.
And you take a snap 5 yards back in the line of scrimmage to run it 2 yards. That's the craziest thing. I'm just one of those old school people, I think, that you go under center, you take it and you sneak your head forward and you got the first down. Why risk it with that extra 5 yards you got to go?
Well, I think the problem, if you'd have seen the first 6 or 7 games of the year, you'd realize that these guys don't move the line of scrimmage all that well. Unfortunately, Nobis will roll towards the home side. He's going to throw it up the football field to Arthur, and this one's going to be intercepted in Liberty territory at about the 45-yard line, and that is just going to the well one too many times. Like is the young man that comes up with the interception. He saw it coming. The ball hung just a little bit as they were going to Nobis, and the interception will give Liberty the football back on their own 45-yard line. Again, that ball thrown maybe on a little bit more of a line, and they would have the ability to complete that pass. It hung up just a little bit. It became a jump ball situation for Like. He stepped in front of the receiver, was able to come up with more of the football, and then it was just kind of a wrestling match, but a nice job to pull that down. It's 1st down and 10, the first turnover of the night for the Bears. Handoff goes to Chambers, and Chambers has really become a dominant player as he is dragging Bears for a first down. He crosses the 50, crosses the 45. We've got a Tiger on the ground right now. And we're going to see what happens to him. He's not getting up here at this point. It'll be a first down as they'll mark the football on the 44-yard line of Bryan. That's 51, I believe.
Daw?
I think it's Kristen Daw. You're right. I think it's the that's, I think, the young guy that's down there, and the staff is out here looking at him. We'll take a timeout. 8:55 to go in the ball game. The Bears trail 7-6 on the main stop scoreboard here on the Golden Bear Sports Network.
Newcomer Schaefer, Spangler, and Breininger is a great group of experts with a common goal: to serve the legal needs of this area with the greatest degree of integrity and excellence. Along with that, they respect and support the athletes in tonight's game for their determination and teamwork. An attorney's relationship with their client is like the one between a coach and their player, a position of trust. Newcomers Schaefer, Spangler, and Breininger are proud supporters of all the athletes and wish them continued success always.
You know, gathering with those we love, we get to catch up and we get to reflect on the past.
It seems like every time we get together, I always learn something new.
Here's the front page of the Columbus Dispatch when he won state baseball tournament, sliding into home plate.
Look at that, the front page. And that's a neat picture.
That was a great memory. I'll never forget that.
At Oberlin Turnbull Funeral Home, we understand that there are special memories that need to be remembered and shared.
Good sign is the young fella able to get up off the field. He's still moving his way across the field over to the Liberty sideline. Time for a couple maybe of scores. You got any real big ones there that we're looking for? Figured PH is going to lay it to Wauseon tonight, 41-7 in the fourth. Okay. Pitch, Carpenter goes around the right end. He's got a little room. Jones grabs a hold of him and throws him out of bounds, but not before he crosses the 40, and he's tossed out of bounds at about the 38. Man, so Montpelier looks like their season's about to come to an end here. 7 yards on that first down sweep. Any more of them down there here, or am I going to turn you off here? Yeah, PH was up on Wauseon quite a ways. I know. Second down and a couple here as they turn and hand the ball off to Chambers, and he spins ahead for a first down all the way to the 30 to the 29-yard line. Needed about 3, give him about 8. First down and 10 now for the Tigers at the 8:02 mark. And now all of a sudden the Tigers starting to find a little rhythm and a little movement there, Jimbo. And they're, as you say, they're kind of flexing those muscles just a little bit, aren't they, huh?
Yeah, it's when you have a 1-point lead in a tight game and then you're basically just handing it off and daring them to stop you. I mean, the run may still set up the pass, but I think it's all muscle at this point.
First and 10 at the 29. Again, to Carpenter, breaks through the first ones. And now he's out around the corner. He's at the 10. He's at the 8. He's going to be dropped at the 5. But I'll tell you what, he walked through a couple of potential tackles at the line of scrimmage. And once he got through that, he started cutting towards that Liberty sideline. And the farther he got to it, the less and less purple jerseys that were out there, and the saving tackle up and around the corner at about the 5-yard line sets up a first down and goal now for the Tigers, who all of a sudden after the turnover smell blood in the water. Carpenter to the right, or Carpenter to the left, and Chambers to the right, and they'll hand to Carpenter, and he's heading straight up the middle of the football field. Gets about a yard, maybe 2. Bears able to stand him up and stop him, but he's at the 3 right now, so it's second down and goal from the 3-yard line.
32 yards on the ground on this series.
7-6 right now. That's the main stop scoreboard score here as we're 7 minutes away from the close of the season here. Game number 10 for the Golden Bears.
I think a touchdown here just about puts it away because the Bears have not been able to get that ball in the end zone, Jim.
Again, a pair of running backs in the backfield. They'll go back to the horse. Carpenter, he's going around the right end, and he's going to find the end zone. Looked like he was going to sweep it out wide. Then he saw a little hole, cut it back inside, and he was in the end zone. Only needed 3. So the 3-yard carry sets up a touchdown for Liberty, makes it 13-6 with 6:49 to play in the football game now, and the Bears really find themselves with their back to the wall.
Now, assuming the extra point is good, it's going to take a touchdown and a 2-point conversion for the Bears to knot this up. And again, they've only been able really to get into field goal range, albeit long field goal range so far.
Well, you know, the good news is it's just one score, and the extra point is good. It's right through the middle, but it's still only an 8-point game. 6 minutes and 49 seconds left. Can the Bears fight their way back into this one and possibly cause an overtime tonight with a touchdown and a 2-point conversion? We'll find out when we come back. 14-6 Liberty here on the Golden Bears Sports Network.
Things are starting to settle down here at Bryan Ford Lincoln. After the fire, we had to rearrange everything. We brought in new offices for our staff. We reorganized our inventory to accommodate our new layout. Things are starting to feel a little more like home.
Morning, Chip.
Maybe a little too comfortable. Bryan Ford Lincoln, great deals, great people, great experiences.
They say there is strength in numbers. In Bryan, we have always taken pride in supporting our Golden Bear student athletes in all of their sporting endeavors. The Bryan Athletic Boosters now have a chance for you to get into the game. If you're Bryan proud, it's time to become Bryan strong. Whether you were a BHS athlete, are raising a BHS athlete, or just love supporting our Bryan High School athlete, this is your chance to be part of the BHS sporting community. Talk to any board member today on how easy it is to join, or contact us at 419-636-4536. Well, we're back here at Golden Bear Stadium, and Liberty's about ready to kick things off to the Golden Bears. This one's going to go deep, and it's going to be fielded at about the 11-yard line. Andrews brings it right up the sideline. He breaks a tackle. He's at the 35, 40. Breaks another tackle. He's at the 45-yard line. And that's exactly what the Bears needed, was a big kick return to bring that ball out and give them good field position to get this drive started. And just like that, Jim, with 6:40 left to play in the ball game, Bryson Andrews with a nice return brings it all the way out to the 45. It's first down and 10 Bears.
Tremendous job on that return right there, and he almost let that ball sail over his head. He had to reach up and really snare that one out of the air, but great job returning and getting that ball in a tremendous starting field position for the Bears. That's a 46.
Was that 43, or was that Waldvogel or Andrews? 28 or 43, guys.
Bears setting up with trips to the near side with 6:40 to play, Big Jim.
Pistol look. Rolls to his home side. Nobis keeps the football, cuts it across midfield, breaks a tackle. He's to the 40-yard line of Liberty. I think it was Andrews that brought that football back on the kick, but again, I number on the top side of that field, and it never got turned in the pile. I never really saw it on the pile, and a good job by the Bears, though, to pick up a nice first down there, as Zach Nobis just starting to get a little confidence. He rolled to the right side and had plenty of room, as I was trying to check to the guys next door here to see whether or not which guy had the big return.
I thought
so
it
I
was
didn't.
Bryce Wagner, 24, but I could be wrong.
That could have been two.
Anyway, 14-yard run on first down for Nobis into enemy territory with one play.
Nobis looks, throws. He's going deep, up in the air, and almost intercepted, but almost caught as well. And I'll tell you what, I think that was a situation where that ball was thrown all the way down to the 5-yard line. And that was Andrews, the intended receiver. And when that ball was thrown, Andrews was a good 5 yards in front of the defensive back, and he closed that gap as that ball hung up in the air a little bit and was able to make a play on the ball, which it eliminated the chance for the interception opportunity.
Yeah, I was going to say, had to make a play on the ball. The wide receiver had to turn into a defensive back there momentarily to prevent the turnover.
Second down and 10. They'll send triples to the top. Single running back in the backfield. That's Belts. Nobis is going to roll to his left, and he throws right across the middle of the field. He's got his guy.
It back.
45-yard line, and then a step backwards to lose a yard or so, and they'll mark it down on the 44. And again, that was Bryson Andrews, who thought he was going to bring it backwards and then try to maybe make that up as he got around the defender, but instead the defender came with him, and he dropped him for a loss of about 1.5 yards. He caught that ball at the 35, maybe the 34.
Yeah, had about 7 on that one. Instead, ended up losing 2. Well, maybe 1 yard. You take that step backwards. Anyway, still third and very manageable.
Third down and about 5 now for the Bears with the ball on the 36-yard line. They need to get down to the 31 for the first down.
Have to think Liberty Center's defense here, Jim, is going to be shadowing Nobis because he's run the design quarterback draw a few times out of this situation.
Bryson and Arthur on the top, and now Arthur comes in motion towards the home sideline. Nobis keeps it left side. He's got the first down. He's still on his feet at the 25, and he's inside to about the 22, and he's still running. He's got the ball up. He's saying he wasn't down.
The officials beg to differ, though, and they usually have the final say in such matters.
Those guys in the black and white shirt decide that Zach is down on the 24-yard line. Zach was standing in the end zone before everything was over and done, but they say the knee touched back there. He went down on top of one of the Liberty Tigers, but we couldn't see it from up here. But obviously one of those knees probably caught the ball or the ground, and then he was able to brace himself on the defender and then kept running. First down and 10, 4:52 to play in the ball game. Belts again, the only running back in the backfield. Nobis will roll towards the home side, and he's got trouble. Then he throws the ball away, and they're going to say it's an incompleted pass, which I think was a good call, I'm waiting for the ineligible. There was not a
grounding because there wasn't an eligible receiver anywhere near that pass.
And the officials are talking. I think the officials are talking just about that. There were a couple of big uns around there. Yeah, and there comes the flag.
That hit the feet of an offensive lineman. There was no eligible receiver anywhere near that pass.
Good idea, because you really don't want to take the sack at that point in time. But unfortunately for Zach Nobis, he had two Liberty Tigers wrapped all over him, and the only guys he could spot to throw it to had big numbers on their jerseys.
Redhead's calling a timeout down here. He's going to have a FaceTime, real-life FaceTime with the official.
So Coach Redhead takes a timeout with 4:43 to play in the ball game. We'll take one with him. The Main Stop scoreboards has the Bears down by 8, 14-6 here on the Golden Bear Sports Network.
They say there is strength in numbers. In Bryan, we have always taken pride in supporting our Golden Bear student athletes in all of their sporting endeavors. The Bryan Athletic Boosters now have a chance for you to get into the game. If you're Bryan proud, it's time to become Bryan strong. Whether you were a BHS athlete, are raising a BHS athlete, or just love supporting our Bryan High School athlete, this is your chance to be part of the BHS sporting community. Talk to any board member today on how easy it is to join, or contact us at 419-636-4536.
This is my story. I'm a mother of 3, a wife, and a CAD operator. I earned my degree in mechanical engineering technologies. Now I have a career doing exactly what I studied. I learned more, now I earn more.
Redhead still lobbying his case down there, but all of us up here in the booth kind of came to the conclusion a couple things happened. Belts was close. Now Redhead's going to get something that he really didn't want, and he's going to get teed up here. Problem was the ball never got back to the line of scrimmage. The ball was kind of thrown at an offensive lineman, all kinds of troubles, and now we're going to compound them with a little bit of conversation that shouldn't have gone on between the coach, who is out on the football field right now, and the guys that are running this ball game in the striped shirts. And instead of having that football all the way down at the Liberty 25 with the penalties, we're going to move it back into Bryan territory to the 47-yard line. We'll lose the down. It'll be second down and a mile, 38 yards. So you just compounded everything. You've got the intentional grounding and then the unsportsmanlike conduct, and the Bears have a second down and forever as Nobis lines up in the pistol. He'll roll towards the home sideline. He's got plenty of time as the Liberty drops back in coverage. He's going down the field for Jones, but this one goes out of bounds down around the 25-yard line over everybody's head. Decent coverage as Liberty went back into a straight zone, and they were going to play a little prevent defense on the Bears that time.
Yep, they used the sideline as the 12th man on defense right there. Well executed on defense. They got, I understand the frustration on the part of Coach Redhead, but you cannot cost your kids yards like that.
You know what? That's the first one of those all year he's gotten, and I'm sure he's wound up and wanting to win this one here tonight. But at the same time, that was a big penalty at the absolute worst time. 4:20 to play here in the ball game. Nobis again in the pistol look. He's got triples here on the home side. Waldvogel, the running back, and they're going to let the interior of that line loose, and the sack is going to cost the Bears another half a dozen yards. 57, Ryan Demeline with the tackle, which will set up now a 4th down, clear back at the Bears' 41-yard line.
With 2 timeouts, I think you still have to punt it here. I don't think there's any plausible reason you should go for it. There's still plenty of time left.
3:49 left to go in the ball game. You're right, Jimmy. I think I'd have to go along with that and try to flip the field, because right now the ball's on your 41-yard line and they're going to go for it. And now they'll call the timeout. Now they will call the timeout with 3:37 to play.
Now they're down to 1 timeout, though. That's the problem. If you keep the 2 and you kick it, you have a chance of at least trying to get a 3 and out. But now you've set yourself up with a 4th and 38. And there aren't too many plays that you can drop to give you a 38 unless they're doing a hook and ladder type play or something like that. I mean, they have found some soft spots in the zone.
Yes, they have.
But that's only been about 8 yards down the field. So, I mean, just if you're going to hook and ladder, you still need to run another 30 yards plus to get a 1st down. So
tough way.
Yep.
Patriots have wrapped up the game against Wauseon tonight, 41-14. As we take a look at the scoreboard here, Northview over Southview, 14-0. And let's see, Bowling Green takes care of Napoleon tonight, 31-7. That does it for Napoleon's hopes, maybe for some postseason play tonight. Let's see what else we've got here. Got an awful lot of guys from Lima and other places here right now. We're still looking for, see if we can find that Montpelier score anywhere.
Saw an Archbold score there. A few screens back looked like they were victorious.
Kenton beating Salina tonight, 23-18. And we'll keep looking here. The Bears 4th down and a mile and a half with 3:37 to play. Doubles go to the top, single to the bottom, single running back in the backfield. Here comes the rush, long throw over everybody's head. And Liberty just will tip that one away at the 20-yard line. And the turnover on downs after the very costly intentional grounding penalty and then the personal foul on Coach Redhead takes the Bears from a spot where they might have had a chance to make this one interesting and puts the ball in the hands of the Tigers on the Bears' 41-yard line with 3:29 to play. Tigers have 3 timeouts left. Bears have only 1. And the Bears find themselves down by 8, 14-6 here on the main stop scoreboard. No matter what you want to say tonight, Jim, the Bears have played extremely hard tonight. And boy, I'll tell you what, a couple of real bad penalties there late as Carpenter rolls around that right end for about 3. He's inside the 40 to about the 29-yard line.
Now they're thinking just stay in bounds on these runs.
Stay in bounds, keep the clock moving. At some point in time, the Bears will have to burn that last time out.
Still a 1-possession game.
3:11 to play in the ball game.
But LC in Bears territory because the Bears elected to go for it there on that 4th and long. Now again, it's going to be pretty much all run and run the play clock down as far as humanly possible each time, as we're under 13 now on the play clock and LC just getting to the line of scrimmage.
2:53 on the game clock, and again the play clock down to 7, 6, and they're going to take their time. Somebody jumped on the top, and that's a false start against Liberty. I'll tell you what, Coach Lindgren is not going to be real happy with that one.
Excuse me? They're calling offsides on the defense there, saying he caused him to jump.
Encroachment on Bryan. Oh, my goodness.
Then.
So that's going to go the opposite direction. The right end looked like he moved on Liberty, but obviously Devontae Royster, who was in front of him up on that other side, must have made some sort of move to pull him off, or something happened there, because that 5 yards will set up a 2nd down and 3 now instead of making it 2nd down and long. Turn, hand to Carpenter. Carpenter has the 1st down. He's still on his feet inside the 30 and down at the 26-yard line, and for all intent, that's going to do it. They'll stop the clock to move the sticks. I don't know whether Coach Redhead will use that final timeout of the season or not now with the 1st down. And after
wait to see what happens after 1st down to figure it out, because they're probably not in field goal range yet. But it may not matter if they get one more first. It won't matter if they get one more 1st down.
Play clock is down to 14 seconds and counting. Game clock at 2 minutes even right now, and the play clock now at about 6. Liberty at the line of scrimmage. They'll they'll fake the football. Nice job by Crew, and he'll go around right end.
Yeah,
he's inside the 20
right
to the 19. Yeah, I'm not sure whether he did. That was a busted play where he missed the running back West.
Oh yeah, it was definitely a busted play.
Or whether he was just intentionally going around that end that way, Jim, after a fake. But either way, it picked up about 7 yards. And unfortunately for the Bears, it moves the ball inside the 20 to the 19, sets up a second down at about 3.
I think that tells you all you need to know about whether or not Coach Redhead's going to want to use that timeout. Maybe you see what you do on second down here, because, I mean, if you stop them short, you have to burn it.
Yeah. Second down and 3. Game clock at 1:10. Crew keeps this one, goes straight forward, and he's going to be very close to the first down. We'll just have to see where they mark him.
Mark him about a yard short.
Looks like he's going to be at about the 22, and he needs the 21. So it's third down and a yard with 53 seconds. And the play clock just starts with 24. So they're going to be able to take this all the way down to about 23 seconds on that game clock before they even have to snap this third down and 1.
In fact, if I were that, well, looks like they're actually going to snap it, but I would have just let it run all the way down and call a timeout right before the 0.
Quarterback again under center. He'll turn and hand to Carpenter, and Carpenter, I believe, will have enough for the first down, and that will seal the deal. Pick up us to the 15-yard line. That moves the chains with 23 seconds left to go in the season for the Golden Bears. And unfortunately for the Bears, when they had things moving, an intentional grounding call and then a personal foul on Coach Redhead, and everything went south. And the Bears' opportunity maybe for the upset tonight goes by the boards, as this one's going to run out before another play is even called. 10 seconds and counting.
Yeah, there's no reason to snap the ball again.
So it was a good effort by the Bears tonight. Couldn't score a touchdown, but a couple of Josh Jones field goals made it kind of interesting for a long time. But Liberty will prevail tonight, and they will win the final here in the regular season in the NWOAL and go on to the week number 11 playoffs next week. And they'll wait to see who they get to play next week. And the Bears, unfortunately, their season will come to an end after a very solid performance here tonight as they fall 14-6 to the Liberty Center Tigers. And I'll tell you what, Coach Lindgren and Coach Redhead out shaking hands in the middle of the football field right now. And Coach Redhead kind of explaining a few things, whatever was going on, and now some smiles and some handshakes all the way around for the coaches along with the players. And with that, we'll send it down to the booth here and come back to put a wrap on this bad boy. Bears lose tonight in the final week of the season, 14-6 here on the Golden Bear Sports Network.
An insurance policy is essentially a promise to pay for covered losses that occur to your assets. At Andrews O'Neill & Lowe, we take this promise seriously, from the minute you accept the policy to the moment the loss occurs and beyond. That's why we place your auto, home, or business insurance with an experienced carrier like the Central Mutual Insurance Company. Our expertise, matched with Central's quality products and service, provide you protection, security, and peace of mind. Andrews O'Neill & Lowe is your local Central agent. Call us today at 419-636-5050.
As the baby boomer generation tires of traditional send-offs, funerals are becoming increasingly more personalized. People are pre-planning their own remembrance gathering. Pre-planning is easy and will pay off both emotionally and financially for you and your family. Plus allows you more control over your last hurrah. At Krill Funeral Service, we're not just funeral directors. We are experts at helping hearts heal.
If it's a home with character and space you dream of, then look no further. Misty King of Amerimaid Realty has a gorgeous home on Ohio Drive that's just waiting for you. With 4 spacious bedrooms, over 1,900 square feet, a renovated rustic interior, fenced yard, and open front porch, you can't go wrong. Listed for only $158, this is a home you have got to see. Call Misty King today at 419-633-4997 or check out 216 Ohio Drive on AmeramaidHomes.com. Amerimaid Realty, your hometown real estate pro.
Hey, you in the old silver car. Looks like you could use a new ride.
What?
At Darryl Shirkey Ford Lincoln, we can upgrade you to a nice pre-owned vehicle or a new Ford or Lincoln.
How are you doing this?
We have a huge selection of vehicles, and with our aggressive pricing policy, we make them very affordable.
This is pretty aggressive. I don't think a billboard's ever tried to sell me a car before.
Come and see why we are the fastest growing dealership in Northwest Ohio. Hey, you in the white pickup.
Newcomer Schaefer, Spangler, and Breininger is a great group of experts with a common goal: to serve the legal needs of this area with the greatest degree of integrity and excellence. Along with that, they respect and support the athletes in tonight's game for their determination and teamwork. An attorney's relationship with their client is like the one between a coach and their player, a position of trust. Newcomers Schaefer, Spangler, and Breininger are proud supporters of all the athletes and wish them continued success always.
You know, gathering with those we love, we get to catch up and we get to reflect on the past.
It seems like every time we get together, I always learn something new.
Here's the front page of the Columbus Dispatch when we won state baseball tournament, sliding into home plate.
Look at that, the front page. And that's a neat picture.
That was a great memory. I'll never forget that.
At Oberlin Turnbull Funeral Home, we understand that there are special memories that need to be remembered and shared.
This is my story. I'm a mother of 3, a wife, and a CAD operator. I earned my degree in mechanical engineering technologies. Now I have a career doing exactly what I studied. I learned more, now I earn more.
They say there is strength in numbers. In Bryan, we have always taken pride in supporting our Golden Bear student athletes in all of their sporting endeavors. The Bryan Athletic Boosters now have a chance for you to get into the game. If you're Bryan proud, it's time to become Bryan strong. Whether you were a BHS athlete, are raising a BHS athlete, or just love supporting our Bryan High School athlete, this is your chance to be part of the BHS sporting community. Talk to any board member today on how easy it is to join, or contact us at 419-636-4536.
Things are starting to settle down here at Bryan Ford Lincoln. After the fire, we had to rearrange everything. We brought in new offices for our staff. We reorganized our inventory to accommodate our new layout. Things are starting to feel a little more like home.
Morning, Chip.
Maybe a little too comfortable. Bryan Ford Lincoln, great deals, great people, great experiences.
Back here at Golden Bear Stadium, the Bears dropped the last ball game of the season. They end up 3-7 on the year. 14-6 to Liberty. It was a very solid performance tonight for the Bears. Really came down to an intentional grounding penalty on their last drive of the night, and then an unsportsmanlike conduct call against Coach Redhead. And the next thing you know, instead of what would have probably been a second down and maybe 20, becomes a second down and 40. And everything became a little bit difficult from there, and just absolutely went south from there. And the Bears couldn't recover, couldn't convert on 4th down and 38, and they turned the ball over on downs. And with that, Liberty runs out the clock here tonight. But you have to be happy with the way that they played tonight. They played a very tough Liberty Tigers team, solid. They played them for all 48 minutes tonight. Unfortunately, couldn't get in the end zone against the Liberty defense. A couple of field goals by Josh Jones, one at 32, one at 42 yards. And Liberty with just those 2 scores in the second half. The Bears were up 3-0 at halftime. And then Liberty in the second half able to score a couple of touchdowns. Bears only with 1 more field goal in the final tonight, 14-6. Looking around the league and around the area, Bowling Green beats Napoleon tonight 31-7. Some of the other games out there, Northview over Southview, 14-0 here. That's still in progress. A final, Patrick Henry beats Wauseon tonight, 41-14. Danbury and Toledo Christian. Danbury just rolls over Toledo Christian, the Eagles, 50-7 this evening. Fairview beats Antwerp, 34-14. In fact, that's still in the 4th quarter. Ottawa Hills over Cardinal Stritch, 35-0. That one in the second half. Let's see, Toledo Start and Rogers start up 19-6. Lima Senior over Central Catholic, 28-14. They're still playing football down in Lima. Eastwood over Rossford, 55-21 in the 4th quarter. Tenora is just rolling away from Wayne Trace, 34-0 in the 4th quarter. Archbold over Evergreen, 41-13 in the 4th quarter. Whitmer is beating St. John's Jesuit, 41-7 in the 4th quarter. Lipsick losing to Arlington, 28-6. It's Fostoria 35, Woodmore 28. That one late in the ball game right now. There's a good one right there. Genoa trails Otsego 38-21. Pandora Gilboa 15. Corey Rawson 7. That one late in the ball game. So there's a contest there. Wapakoneta just rolling over Van Wert tonight. The Cougars started with the Bears and a loss to the Bears, and they're going to end to a big loss to the Redskins tonight. They're down 52-6 here late in the ball game. Elida 40 and Bass 7. It's Lima Central Catholic losing to Huron 30-0. Salina trailing Kenton 23-18 in the fourth quarter. Let's see. Defiance, it looks like they're going to pull out their second win of the season. They're up 20-0, or third win of the season. I'm sorry, 20-0 over Shawnee. OG leads St. Mary's 13-7 in the fourth quarter. There's a ball game for you. Ayersville over Hicksville 21-6 late fourth quarter. Mohawk is beating Eden 20-0 late in the ball game. Let's see. Anthony Wayne trails Springfield 28-21. And the Gibsonburg Golden Bears are winning over Hilltop tonight 49-8. Swanton beats Delta. In fact, it's not over yet, but it's 35-7 late. Maumee ahead of Perrysburg 21-20 in the fourth quarter. And we also have St. Francis de Sales 26, Clay 24. That one also late in the ball game. Again, our final here tonight from Golden Bear Stadium. 14-6, the Bears fall to Liberty here in the final week of the season.
All right, we'll get some post-game stats here for the Bears. Nobis goes 11 of 25 for 122 yards through the air. Also gets 35 yards on the ground. Jones gets 41 yards through the air. Arthur with 57 total yards through the air, and Andrews with 30 yards total through the air. For Liberty Center, Crew only goes 5 of 11, but very efficient in the second half. 103 yards and that one touchdown. Chambers rushes for 49 yards and also receives 85, including the one receiving touchdown for the LC Tigers. Carpenter goes for 140 on the ground and one touchdown, 60 in the second half. And West also comes on in the second half to put 25 on the ground as well. Tremendous ground game for Liberty Center, getting well over 200 yards on the ground against the Bears. And they really wore them down, Jim, in that second half.
Yeah, they did. They really did, didn't they? I'll tell you what, tonight was the final night for these seniors here for the Bears. Sam Culler, who didn't get a chance to play tonight. Lucas Nye, who was everywhere all year long for the Bears. Brady Shankster, Colt Arthur, Brandon Farrell, who was injured about 3 or 4 games ago. Josh Jones, John Rittenhouse, Clayton Farrell. Other seniors, Mason Oliphant, Damon Belts, Jordan Robb, Ryan Pekornik, Dylan Wagner, and Alex Miller. So those are the seniors that the Bears will be losing this year, and congratulations to those guys for wrapping up a very solid career here with the Golden Bear football program, and really pat them all on the back for 4 wonderful years of playing football here with the Golden Bears. And always a tough situation, never easy, an awful lot of practices. It all starts back in the summertime when it's 90 degrees, Jimmy, and you're out there just banging away, and it ends on a Friday night just like this one, when the temperature might hit down to the 40s before it's all over and done with. Yep. Big thank you to the sponsors tonight, Jim.
I want to thank Oberlin Turnbull Funeral Home, Bryan Ford, the Bryan Athletic Boosters, Northwest State Community College, Andrews O'Neill and Lowe, Krill Funeral Home and Crematory, Amerimaid Realty, Darrow Shirkey Ford, and newcomers Schaefer, Spangler, and Breininger. Thank you for your support throughout the Golden Bears football season.
Eric Herman pushing all the buttons and twisting all the knobs here on the sideline here tonight, and with him this evening, he also had young Christopher Bryce down in the bus. And no telling what Mr. Bryce was doing all night long, but I'll tell you, whatever he was doing, I'm sure he looked good doing it. Cameraman Aaron Gilbert and Danny Humbarger. And for my buddy Jim Bellamy, I really want to tell you thank you for showing up tonight, because Chris Malinga had kind of a tough night, just couldn't make the count here tonight. And Chris, a big thank you too for 9 wonderful weeks of football. And Jim Bellamy, thanks for popping in and helping us out tonight when Chris couldn't make the call here tonight with the bell.
Happy to help out.
And also a big thank you to everybody here with Bryan High School. Mook Roofer, the AD, and Teresa Kuzma, who basically just runs the joint. If you don't believe her, believe me, believe her, believe Herman, believe whoever. Teresa does everything. TK does it all, and without her, we don't even want to come here on a Friday night. That'll wrap up 10 games of football this year. We do have some basketball coming up. We'll let you know about that as it goes. Unfortunately for the Bears, there'll be no postseason. There will be a postseason for Liberty, and we wish them the best. With that, we'll sign off tonight. Thanks for listening tonight on QFM 96.5 and also on BryanSports.com. And don't forget, you can get the replay tomorrow night on BMU Channel 3. For Jim Bellamy, I'm Jim Futterberg. Have a great weekend, everybody.